Round 1, fight!
Hey guys, and welcome to Tournament Fights Episode 2. I gotta give another shout out to Neon X for that amazing intro music. I love that music. It's a remix of the Street Fighter music from Ken, but he did a little remix there, so we're using that for our intro. But we are here to break down the best TV dads of all time in honor of Father's Day coming up. So it's a little early Father's Day thing that we're doing. So I'm going to introduce my panel that we have tonight. First up, we have my co-host for tonight, Austin Pez Howell. How you doing?
Well, Jordan, if you're wondering what the captain's hat is for, it's because here on Tournament Fights, you run the board and I kind of captain the conversation. So I'm ready to do my duties here tonight and lay down the law and ready to go.
I was thinking, I don't know if we have any sailors on the list or anything, but yeah. And then we have joining us once again, Jen Kemp. How's it going?
Hi, thanks for having me back so soon.
Yeah, right. You were on with us 2 days ago, and I had to kind of pander to our guest wear my swag shirt tonight.
There we go.
Yeah. But and then we also have Steven joining us. How's it going?
Hey, good. Well, yeah, that was a cool intro.
Yeah, that's my favorite one yet for any of the shows that we do, so it was fun. And then we also have my good buddy Sam joining us. How's it going?
Hey guys.
All right. So yeah, I think we're ready to just jump right into it. So do you want to kind of break down how it's going to work, Austin?
Sure thing. So what we've got here tonight on Tournament Fights, as you kind of figured out from the title, is we've got 64 fathers, 64 dads here in a March Madness style bracket, and we're going to break it down and by the end of the night determine a winner, hopefully within 2 hours. We were able to successfully do it last night only because we follow the rules, and the rules are as follows. Now what it is, essentially, it's going to be very easy. It's a Coke or Pepsi style, one or the other vote. Every time we go around the panel, everybody votes for something. The key, especially to the outside brackets, so we can make it to those inside ones and have a little more discussion, is time. Timing is everything here on Tournament Fights, and what it is unlike tier ranker fights, this is not a debate show or a dissertation show or an extended discussion show. You will have 20 seconds to cast your vote and give your reasoning why when we get to these first, especially these first 2 rounds, essentially 164 and the 32 down to the 16. So we need, the key here is timing. We need to speed through these outside ones. Now, if we can speed through these outside brackets, once we get to those 16 and those 8, we can kind of extend our discussions about those dads, the key ones that make it through there, and kind of have a little bit longer conversation about those, give a longer reasonings. Does everybody understand that so far? But the idea here is to kind of jump through these outside ones. You can give any reason you want, any reason at all, for voting for whichever dad you want in any bracket. Even if you have never seen the shows or are not familiar with the dads, you can pick any reason you want to. If you think one's more handsome than the other, you can pick for that one. If you've heard of one show and haven't heard the other show, you can vote for one of those. Literally, there's no reason that is off limits here on Tournament Fights. You can vote however way your heart desires. That's the cool thing about Tournament Fights. You don't even have to be familiar with some of the people on there. You can just vote. And that's the essential thing, is we need your vote. So how it'll work is once Jordan lines us up on the side here and brings up our panel, we will start with the bottom, just like in tier ranker fights, and we will rotate. So the person on the bottom will vote first, and then we'll go up the line. And the next round, the next person in line will start the voting, and we'll rotate just like we do in tier ranker fights, okay? And we do have tiebreaker procedures, but obviously with 5 panelists and everybody voting, we don't need a tiebreaker procedure at this time. Should somebody have to drop out of the stream, I'll explain the tiebreaker procedures, all right? Does everybody kind of understand how it's going to work? And then just about halfway through, once we get to that Sweet 16, we'll take a little 5-minute halftime, as we like to call it. We'll kind of analyze what's happened so far and kind of break down and think about any surprises or upsets, anything like that for a couple of minutes. And again, if we're doing very good on time like we were last night, then once we get down to those inner brackets, we'll be able to kind of extend the time, talk a little bit more about the choices that are on screen. Any questions, comments, concerns before we get started? Everybody understand? Fantastic. Well, Jordan, let's bring up that bracket and let the tournament begin, shall we?
We'll bring it up here. So give it one quick second to load. All right. So we got to.
So while he's loading that up, basically how it'll
here.
work once we're ready to go, Jordan's going to be running the actual board. So he'll be moving the winners in there. And I'll kind of, just to let you know, be running sort of a play-by-play commentary about what goes through, what doesn't go through, just because we put this up in an audio format as well. So I want to make sure we're clear about what our choices are. Jordan is usually pretty good about introducing the matchup we have going on, and I'll kind of break it down as we go. But once we get started, Sam, down there at the bottom, you'll be our first vote for the first matchup. And then obviously for once we get to the second matchup, Steven will start, and so on and so forth, so that nobody is the first or last vote in any given round consecutively. Does everybody understand and get it? Any questions? So once again, this is pretty rapid fire. Let's keep our comments and our reasonings somewhat brief, under roughly 20 seconds. And without any further ado, Jordan, how about you present our first matchup and we'll get this thing going?
Yeah, and I want to just kind of give just like a quick little overview. You can see how big the actual tournament is if I actually zoom out here. So we got a lot to.
Pretty big.
It's pretty big. And again, that's the reason we emphasize the speediness, at least in the first two sections right there before we get to the inner ones, just so we literally overall have 67 matches we have to determine. So much like a tournament bracket, but we plowed through them last night. We made good timing, so we're ready to go.
Actually, worked very well. So our first matchup that we have, we're going to have Al Bundy versus Fred G from Sanford and Son. So we'll start with Sam. Who are you going to vote for?
Starting out with a tough one here, Sam.
Yeah.
Gosh.
The two guys that like to complain and and give people a hard time.
I think let's see here. And you said Fred is the second one?
Fred Sanford from Sanford and Son.
Fred,
yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Fred G. Sanford, I should say. That's his full name. Yeah.
I'm really only familiar with Al. I never watched Married with Children. It's not really my cup of tea. For that, I think for that alone, I'm going to cast my vote for Fred.
All right. And I'll kind of be keeping tally of the votes here on a little chart I've got in front of me so we can keep track and see who wins. But sorry about that. Steven, go ahead. It's your vote.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen Sanford and Sons, but I like Married with Children a lot, so I'll go with Al.
All right. Jen.
I'm going Sanford and Son. His fatherhood is literally in the title, and Al kind of hates his kids. So yeah, Sanford and Son.
True. That's a good point.
I agree that Al is not the best dad. If it was just tier ranker fights, I'd be arguing for like a C-level tier. But since we're not doing tier ranker fights, I love me some Al Bundy and Married with Children, so I'll vote Al Bundy.
Yeah, and for me, I think I got to go Al Bundy. I grew up in that generation, so I grew up watching Married with Children all the time, and I think Sanford and Son was a little before my time. You're still a great dad, but I got to go Al.
All right, so Al 3-2 defeats Sanford and Son early, who I thought might have been a favorite early on. That's and by the way, just to let the audience know, all these picks were put into a randomizer. There are no seeds per se. There's literally they were completely random matchups, so we could have matchups like this all night.
Yep. So they're totally in random order. So next up we have Louis Huang from Fresh Off the Boat versus Red Foreman from That 70s Show.
All right, Steven gets the first vote this time.
Well, once again, I have never seen Fresh Off the Boat. I love That 70s Show. I love. I think Red is a great character, so I go with Red.
All right.
Jen.
Yeah. Unfortunately, as much as I love Randall Park, I gotta go Red. Red is just like a classic TV dad. So yeah.
Yep.
All right. And I might have to follow the suit here. Red Foreman's awesome. I've only seen a little bit of Fresh Off the Boat, but he also plays Clarence Boddicker in RoboCop, so I'm down with that. So I vote for Red.
Yeah, if you don't vote for Red Foreman, then you're a dumbass. So you gotta vote for him, right? So I think I think he's gonna take it unanimously. So yeah, I gotta go red.
Mm-hmm.
Sam, unless you.
Sam, you still get to vote. You still get to vote, but let's
Red's got it either way, but yeah, I don't have enough experience. I would say that Randall's got a snappy tie, but I will say this, that from what I know from Red's character, that he does stick on his kids real tough, you know.
Oh yeah.
And that at least shows that he cares,
Right.
even if he's mean about it.
Sure.
And also we have Ferris Muthana chiming in, said Red Foreman. So
Thank you, Ferris.
Yeah. And also too, he was throwing in a little love for Red Fox. So absolutely. So yeah. So
but Fred Sanford also calls his kid a big dummy all the time. That's kind of insulting.
Yeah, right. At least he actually cared a little more, though.
Yeah. But it's unanimous, 5-0. So Red Foreman defeats Fresh Off the Boat.
Yeah. Let's see. Let me bring him over here. All right. So next up, we have Alan Matthews versus. I'm spacing on the name there. The one from like moving on up.
Jefferson.
Jefferson.
Yeah.
George Jefferson. Sorry, there's so many dads in here. I'm like spacing like some of the names.
No,
sometimes.
we should say the shows as well. So so
right.
Boy Meets World basically versus the Jeffersons, right? Is that what we have here?
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
So George Jefferson.
Jen,
I know George.
Yeah.
George.
Yeah, I know I'm in the minority, but I never was a big fan of Boy Meets World. Meanwhile, the Jeffersons has like one of the best theme songs of all time, so Jefferson's for me.
Yeah, I think George Jefferson's going to be moving on up in this bracket. I definitely vote for him.
Yep. One of the best theme songs, and even though Boy Meets World is my favorite show of all time, I have so much love for that. I've watched it like multiple times, like over and over and over, like at least like seen it like 6 or 7 times the whole series. But I mean, as far as the iconic dads though, like you can't really go against George Jefferson. I mean he's iconic, so I think I got to go George.
All right, Sam.
All right, Sam.
Yeah. I don't have a lot of background with a lot of this stuff. But
that's okay on tournament fights. Like I said, you can vote for any reason you want to whatsoever.
Right. You know, so I'm gonna have to go with Boy Meets World though. You know, that's one show that I do remember, and I always appreciated how he behaved toward his family.
Yeah, for sure.
Steven.
Well, I've never seen either of these shows.
Well, I might have to just pick which one you like based on the.
Flip a coin. You can just pick one. Whatever you want to do.
George is a very snappy dresser. Just saying.
Yeah.
Who's got the better headshot
all the time? Yeah. Who's got the better Hollywood headshot?
The Jeffersons of the two seems like it would be more mean Boy Meets World. So the Jeffersons.
Okay.
All right. I think.
All right. It's overwhelming for George Jefferson. He's moving on up in the bracket.
I will say, forgive me if I space on a couple of names. We got a lot of dads here. So I have a little list here, but the list of 64 people. So to scroll through all that and try to find the exact one may take me a minute sometimes. But we'll see. But next up, we have Martin Crane from Frasier and Rick Grimes from The Walking Dead. So,
I believe it's to me this time, right?
Yep, you're up, Austin.
I'll just say for a quick reasoning, everybody around Rick Grimes seems to die, including his own kids. So I'm gonna go with Frasier. I'm gonna go with Frasier's dad.
All right. Well, for me, like I was always a low key fan of the show Frasier. I always felt like a little weird, like I was too young to really fully appreciate Frasier, but I always I had fun watching the show. I probably watched the whole series, but I'm an even bigger fan of Rick Grimes from The Walking Dead. I'm a massive Walking Dead fan, so I got to go Rick Grimes.
Mm-hmm.
Coral.
Yeah. I gotta go with Martin Crane, Frasier's dad.
Okay.
Okay. All right, that's 2
Steven.
for Crane. Steven?
Oh, I love both of these shows. But as much as I love Rick, I gotta go with Martin Crane.
Okay.
All right.
Is it
Jen?
tied right now? Am I the
No, it's
decider?
actually 3-1 right now.
It's
for
3-1. Oh,
yeah.
well, doesn't matter anyway. This
Yeah.
I think is the hardest matchup so far. They're both cops. They both have very similar kind of approaches to things. However, one is during the apocalypse. So I think I have to favor Rick, even though it won't matter anymore. So yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
No, you can
Without
still voice
voting.
your love for the character. That's perfectly fine.
Yep.
But Mr. Crane is going to lounge in his lazy boy into the next round.
Yep. Martin Crane.
Yeah.
So then we have Gomez Adams versus, and I always forget the guy's name from Blackish. I think Andre is his name. So Andre from Blackish.
It's
versus
Anthony
Gomez
Anderson
Adams.
from
Yeah.
Blackish
Right.
versus
Anthony
John
Anderson.
Aston versus John Aston as Gomez Adams.
They call him
The
Andre.
Adams
Yeah.
family. And Jordan, I believe you're up first.
So, Blackish has always been one of those shows that's like on my list. Like I keep telling myself I'm going to get to it, I'm going to watch it, but I never really seem to find the time to watch it. And just for the fact that I've seen so much more of the Adams family, I got to go with Gomez Adams. So,
All right, back to Sam.
Yeah. Same here. Gomez Adams. Apart from the relationship that he shares with his wife, which a lot of people will point out, especially as it comes to the more recent movies and whatnot, I think Gomez takes this.
Okay,
Yep. All right, Steven.
Well, I've never seen Blackish, and I've probably seen a few episodes of The Addams Family when I was a kid, but that was such a long time ago.
Right.
So I'll give it to Anthony Anderson.
Okay. Well, Jen, who you got?
Well, I do love Anthony Anderson, but Gomez is just a very unique character across the board. He's like one of the most loving dads, actually, despite being in a very kind of goth kind of show. So, we're moving on.
Yep. All right.
And I'll go John Aston as well because I met him at a Comic-Con and he couldn't have been a sweeter, nicer man. And he was amazing. Yeah, absolutely. I got a picture with him. He was amazing. So I'll vote him. I'll vote him just for that.
Nice. All right then.
So John Aston moves on
into the next round.
All right. Into the next round.
All right. So here we have Michael Bluth versus Ricky Ricardo. So
we got Arrested Development versus I Love Lucy. Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So
all right, and we go back down to Sam. Back around the horn. And he's muted. You're muted. There you go.
I was not prepared for it to be my turn. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's your turn, sir. We need your vote. You've already killed 5 of your seconds. Let's go.
On a water break there. I got to go Ricky Ricardo for no other reason other than it's what I have the most experience with.
Okay.
All right. Steven?
I'm actually not really that big of a fan of old sitcoms, but I don't think I've ever seen an episode of I Love Lucy. But I have seen 1 or 2 episodes of Arrested Development. So I'll go with Jason Bateman.
Okay.
All right. Jen?
Oh, this is a tough one. But they're actually very similar characters because they actually are both very business-oriented people that are also trying to do the best for their family. One is in showbiz and one is trying very hard to do another business. But I absolutely love Arrested Development, so I got to put it through for Michael, even though it feels like a sacrilege to go against I Love Lucy, being one of the best sitcoms of all time. So, unfortunately, Michael Bluth.
Yep.
And I've never seen a single episode of Arrested Development, so I'll go with Ricky Ricardo.
You ever seen Arrested Development? Oh man, I love that show.
No, never.
And I think that for me, I got to go with Michael Bluth just because for I Love Lucy, Ricky Ricardo, his time as a father on the series, was pretty short lived. It's only a season, maybe.
That's true.
Or maybe 2 seasons, possibly, but that's about it. So, but But yeah, and also Michael Bluth's the one that like literally like saves the family pretty much. Without him, that family would be like all in like prison or something. So yeah, I got to go with Michael.
Well,
Bluth.
it's 3-2, so Michael Bluth and Arrested Development move into the next round.
All right, sounds good. So now we have Andy Griffith versus Hal Wilkerson from Malcolm in the Middle. So Sheriff Andy Taylor.
Sheriff Andy versus Bryan Cranston from Malcolm in the Middle. Yeah, good matchup. Steven, you're first.
I love Bryan Cranston, but I don't remember him being that great of a dad in Malcolm in the Middle. So I'll go with the top one.
Okay,
right.
with Andy Griffith. All right.
Sheriff Andy Taylor. All right.
Jen?
Yeah, for me, Andy Griffith, like he was a little too perfect for me. Whereas for Malcolm in the Middle, like he was like a wacky, zany dad that means well, but just kind of gets into antics. So I'm gonna go Malcolm in the Middle.
Okay.
All right.
Well, Hal does not stop Lois from being an absolute psychotic maniac on that show, so I'll go with the one who controls the town and keeps everything in order. I'll go with Sheriff Andy.
Yeah. This one's tough because these are like two dads that I actually love. Like I think that they're both great, and you know like believe it or not, Malcolm in the Middle, Hal actually is the sane one. If you look at like how the mom acts, like the mom's he's like totally crazy. Ooh,
They're all a little crazy. So.
right, yeah, they all are. But I think just because it gives me a little more entertainment value, I got to go with Hal. So
okay, Sam.
Ooh. This is definitely a tough one. Although I think for this one, I'm gonna put myself in the shoes of each of the kids in these respective shows, and I'm gonna have to go with Sheriff Andy.
All right, so just barely 3-2, Sheriff Andy.
Sheriff Andy
boots out Bryan Cranston from Malcolm in the Middle. Just barely.
All right. So next up, we have Michael Kyle Sr. from My Wife and Kids versus I think his name's Rob Petrie from the Dick Van Dyke Show, but we can just call him Dick Van Dyke. So
it's basically Damon Wayans versus Dick Van Dyke. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I believe Jen is up first on this one.
Oh, this is quite a dichotomy of comedic styles here, but I can't not pick Dick Van Dyke. Like Dick Van Dyke, like he's one of the best like TV dads of all time, and he was on for a really long time too. So I got to go for that one.
Yeah. All right, awesome.
Yeah, I'll say Dick Van Dyke just because all the kids in Mrs. Doubtfire are a big fan of the show and always watch it all the time. So I'll go. Yeah, and we always go Dick Van Dyke. So yeah, I'll go with that.
Yeah, and I'll go with Dick Van Dyke just because my wife's son has been doing a little rewatch of the whole Dick Van Dyke show, but like he's like really conservative, so like instead of calling him Dick Van Dyke, he calls him Richard Van Dyke. He doesn't want to say Dick, I guess. So it's kind of funny. Like he's pretty young. I think he's like 8. So yeah.
That's cute.
All right.
Yeah. But Sam.
All right, Sam.
Yeah, I gotta give it to Dick Van Dyke.
All right. Steven, we're gonna have a clean sweep.
I mean, I've never, apart from Mary Poppins, never really been a big fan of Dick Van Dyke's. I haven't seen either shows.
Did you watch WandaVision?
Yeah.
Oh, like the first 3 episodes. I still haven't finished it yet.
Yeah.
I like Damon Wayans in some things. So even though I'm outvoted, I will go with Damon Wayans.
Okay. It's a really underrated sitcom, actually. My Wife and Kids is actually very, very funny.
Yeah.
I do enjoy it.
It's just an unfortunate matchup for him.
But,
yeah.
Oh yeah, it's an unfortunate matchup.
Yeah.
But yeah, and Dick Van Dyke is too iconic, so he takes this one and moves on. But he might be facing Sheriff Andy, which could be a battle of old school dads. So we'll see what happens in the next round.
And that's the thing about this tournament is that a lot of these depend on who they're matched up against. Like they might win against one, but then they're matched up against someone else. It could be like a totally different vote for you, you know?
Yeah, we faced that in the first episode of Tournament Fights where we voted for one movie in one bracket, but not in the other bracket just because of what they're up against. It always depends.
Yep. So on the next match, we have We have Archie Bunker from All in the Family versus Hank Hill from King of the Hill.
All right.
So,
I think I'm up first. No, I think Jen
I
just
think I went
right?
first
Yes.
last time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm up. This is a really tough one.
Yeah.
I enjoy both of the shows. I'll go with crotchety Archie Bunker though. I'll go with
All right. Yeah. Like both of these dads really make me laugh for like totally different reasons. But I mean, I think that I just kind of grew up watching King of the Hill just a little more, so I got to go with Hank. So,
Okay.
Sam,
Yeah.
what do you think?
In a strange twist, I'm gonna give this to I'm gonna give my vote to Archie.
Okay.
All right,
Steven.
I've never seen the top one, but I've seen King of the Hill a bunch of times. So
All
I
in the
will go
Family?
with. So I will go with Hank.
And
All right.
Jen, it's going to come down to you. Who's going to move on?
This is a really tough matchup, but because we are like specifically doing this for Father's Day, when I think Father's Day, I think grilling, and when I think grilling, I think propane and Hank Hill. So
Yeah.
Hank Hill makes it through.
Fair enough. All right.
Propane and propane accessories. All right.
Yeah. So Hank
Moving
Hill. Hank Hill is king of this matchup, and he moves on.
Yeah. So up next we have the outdoor man himself, Mike Baxter, and then against Sandy Cohen from the OC.
So we got just to clarify, Last Man Standing, Tim Allen from Last Man Standing versus the OC. Yeah, and Jordan, you get the first vote.
This one's easy for me. Like I never really liked, never really watched it. I want to say like because I actually did kind of like the OC. I just never really watched more than a couple episodes. So, but I've watched all of Last Man Standing. I'm a massive Tim Allen fan. I got to go with Mike all the way. So it's an easy one for me. Sam,
Sam,
what do you think?
Yeah, definitely Mike.
Yep.
Okay, Steven.
Oh, I think Sandy is a great dad. I love the OC. I don't think I've ever seen Last Man Standing. It never really looked that great to me, to be honest. But yeah, I'll go with Sandy.
Okay.
All right,
Jen.
Yeah, for me, Last Man Standing is the lesser of his dad sitcoms for Tim Allen, so I got to go for Peter Gallagher's Beautiful Eyebrows. Yeah.
All right. Yep, those eyebrows.
And I've never seen either one, but I'm a big fan of Peter Gallagher, so I'll put it through Sandy.
All right. So that means he's advancing, right? Is that
bit of an upset for Jordan because he's a big Last Man Standing fan. But I'm like you, Jen. I'm wearing my Ben for Tools shirt.
There you go.
I'm a big fan of another one here in this.
I assume he's somewhere else in the bracket.
Yeah, he's somewhere in here. We don't know where. We'll see him at some point here. Yeah, definitely. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but next up,
the OC. Yes.
We have Bob from Bob's Burgers versus Herman Munster.
Oh.
Ooh. All right, but we're back around the horn to Sam. Sam, you get the first one on this one. Bob's Burgers versus the Munsters.
Oh, I got to go Bob's Burgers. Honestly.
Okay.
And I think that might be a little skewed because it's not really based on the dads. It's just based on the show itself.
That's perfectly fine. And again, you can vote. You don't have to vote based on the merits as a dad here in tournament fights. Maybe in T-Ricker fights, but not here on tournament fights.
Yep.
All right, Steven.
I've got to go with Herman Munster. I've never seen Bob's Burgers, and I'm not familiar at all with that character.
Mm-hmm.
That's all right.
This is another tough one. This is a tough one. I do like the Munsters, but we already have one spooky dad through, and meanwhile, I absolutely love H. John Benjamin's voice. So yeah, Bob's going through.
Okay. All right. And I will go with Herman Munster for an unusual reason in that I'm a referee for professional wrestling, and there was a wrestling episode where Herman Munster became a wrestler, so I will vote for him just for that.
Yeah, for me, like I'm never a huge Bob's Burgers fan. If we had another H. John Benjamin character in here, then I'd certainly vote for him. But
I don't think he has other dad characters.
Archer's not a dad, though. Unfortunately,
that he knows of.
Yeah, right. That he knows of. Yeah, but so I got to go with Herman Munster on this one.
All right. Well, Herman Munster, moves on to the next
Munster.
round along with Gomez. We could see
Moving
both of
on.
them later.
Yeah. So we got next up Mike Brady versus Stan from American Dad.
So the Brady Bunch versus American Dad. Wow, that's a good one too. I believe it's Steven this time.
We got a wholesome dad versus one that's not so wholesome.
Yeah, I mean, even though I'm not the greatest Brady Bunch fan in the world, I still got to go with Mike Brady on this one.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Jen.
Yeah, for this one, I think if you were like the kid that got into trouble, Stan would probably turn you into the authorities, whereas Mike would help you out. So I think I got to go Mike Brady.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go wholesome dad on this one. I think most of the cartoon dads on this list, not all of them, but most of them are pretty despicable. So I'll go with Mike Brady.
Yeah. Yeah, most of the cartoon dads are not like typical father material, really. So I think I got to go with Mike Brady. I'm like a semi Brady Bunch fan. Like I've seen most of the series, but I mean, and American Dad, like when you have Family Guy versus American Dad, I mean, can't really beat Family Guy. So I got to go with Mike Brady.
Sam?
Yeah, Mike Brady for sure. I forget. And there's like 6 kids in the family. Is that how the cast?
Three and three.
Yeah.
Here's the story. Yeah, there's 6 kids.
Yeah, that is. Any dad that can handle that with as much grace as Mike Brady does deserves.
Yeah.
I mean, Alice shoulders a lot of the load, I think. But yeah, you're right.
Yeah, right.
Well, Jordan, here's the story of a man named Brady who moved on to the next round.
Yep, right. Moved on. Yep. All right. So next up, we have Charles Ingalls from Little House on the Prairie versus Herschel from The Walking Dead.
Oh.
I mean, they're dressed kind of similar. I don't know like really how similar they actually are, but.
All right, Jen, Little House on the Prairie versus The Walking Dead, 2 shows that couldn't be more opposite of each other. So,
but these two would totally get along. They both
have a farmhouse. So
they have very similar values. Like these two, they would hang out and they drink like after the day was done. But like we already killed Rick, so I think I got to give it to Herschel just because he's like he was the moral compass before the moral compass became like every week somebody different. So he was a great part of the show. So I got to give it to Herschel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just echo everything Jen said, and I'll vote for Herschel. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'll vote for Herschel just because I feel bad that he got his head chopped off in the end. That was like pretty horrifying. So yeah, I got to go with Herschel. But Sam,
Yeah, definitely Herschel. Scott, rest in peace. He's a fantastic individual. In fact, Jordan, wasn't he at one of the Fanix conventions that we were at?
Oh yeah, he was. Yeah.
Okay.
We got to meet him. So yeah, yeah, he's an awesome guy. So
yeah.
All right, Steven.
Yep, I'll go with Herschel as well.
All right, well, clean sweep for Walking Dead gets a little redemption in this one as Herschel moves on in this bracket.
Yeah. So we'll move him on. And next up, we have Morty Seinfeld from Seinfeld versus
his glasses. And Mr. Keaton from Mr. Keaton, Michael Gross from Family Ties versus Morty Seinfeld.
Yep. All right.
I think I'm up first. This is tough because I'm a huge Seinfeld's fan, but I also am a huge Tremors fan with Michael Gross, so I know that has nothing to do with Family Ties. But just to be unconventional, there's a dad from Seinfeld I love more that's on this list, so I'll vote for Michael Gross because I love Tremors. So it has nothing to do with the shows, but I'm going to vote for it anyways.
Yeah, and I think I got to go with Mr. Keaton here. Probably for the same reason as the dad from Seinfeld. I like a little more, so yeah, I'll go with him. All in the family. Family Ties. I'm sorry.
Family Ties. Yes.
Yeah.
Sam.
Yeah, I think Mr. Keaton's got a fantastic high school photo shoot here. So.
Yeah. Right. Absolutely.
All right, Steven.
They're both great shows, but I would say that Keaton is probably the better dad. So
Fair enough. Jen?
I think Keaton already won at this point, but I will give a vote to Morty because just the moment of when he gets like the pocket organizer and just keeps calling it a tip calculator, that is like a prime dad thing. So I absolutely love that moment. So I vote for Morty, but I understand.
Yeah. Listen, Jen, he sold raincoats for 35 years, all right?
My wallet's gone.
Yeah.
All right, but with that, Mr.
Family
Keaton
Ties
from
for the
Family
win.
Ties moves on. And is that the end of
Right.
our side, Jordan, I believe? Or are we done with the left
Nope.
side? We're almost there. Almost there?
We're almost there. We got a good
All right,
opposite
we'll
here
keep
next. So we have John Walton Sr. versus Homer Simpson, two completely opposite people. So like maybe
So
the most opposite
Waltons versus the
that we've
Simpsons.
had.
Yeah, these couldn't be more opposite. But Jordan, you're up first.
Well, for me, I got to go with Homer. This one's easy. My family tried to force the Waltons on me. Like they're huge fans. Like they watch it all the time. They have these like family like watch parties where like they all want to sit down and watch the Waltons, and like they always try to rope me in. I'm like, oh no, like if I have to. That's the only way we're gonna have family time, I guess. but yeah, I gotta go with Homer.
Sam?
All right, Sam.
You're muted.
Oh
You're
yeah.
muted, Sam.
Sorry.
Sam, yeah. Stop muting yourself, Sam.
No, the problem is I was about to excuse myself, but then I saw where I was in the pecking order. And I thought, okay, I'll wait. And I forgot to unmute. So,
Okay.
Mhm.
but yeah, I'm giving it to Homer Simpson.
All right.
Okay.
okay, so I've never seen the Walton, but I have a feeling based on the kind of show it is, he's probably the better dad.
He is.
But-
Oh, he is. There's no spoiler there. He is.
But I love The Simpsons and I love Homer. So I'm going with Homer.
All right.
Okay.
Jen.
Yeah, the only thing I know about the Waltons is like they yell goodnight to every single member of the family like every night and everything, and it takes about
Right.
10 minutes. So that would drive me crazy.
Yeah.
So I got to go with Homer.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, it's pretty unanimous for Homer in this round, so he's going to move on.
All right. We're moving on. Then we have our last matchup for this side of the bracket. We have Marty Bird versus from Ozarks and Stu Pickles from Rugrats. A little odd matchup.
Well, the vote was to Sam, but he stepped away for a second. We'll come back to him. We'll just start with Steven. We'll just start with Steven on this one, and we'll work our way back around. So, Steven, what do you say?
Well, I mean, Bateman and Ozarks probably not exactly father material. Father of the year material. So I'll go with the Rugrat.
Okay. Jen.
Yeah, neither of these dads are exactly like a stable father figure because like the Ozarks, like that's complete chaos, and Stu is like a somewhat out of work inventor, so not exactly a model citizen. But even so, like he loves his kids, so yeah, I got to go Stu Pickles.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go with Stu Pickles just for that great meme that goes around Facebook now where he's like making that coffee in like the middle of the night, just saying like, I hate my life. Like I enjoy that. So I'll just vote for Stu just because of that.
Yeah. And I think I got to go with Stu Pickles just because Marty Bird just like barely cares about his family, just a little bit, but not really much at all. So yeah, I got to go with Stu.
Well, Sam's not back, but it's unanimous anyways, 4-0. Right. So we're gonna put
unanimous.
Him unanimous. If he doesn't get back in time when we happen to have a tie, I'll explain the tiebreaker really quick. But
yeah.
Keep going. But is that our left side of the bracket? We have it completed, right?
Yep, there's the left side. So
So we're gonna scroll over to the right side and start on the other outer bracket.
All right. So you can kind of see who we got here. So we have Dan Arnold, and I always forget like if anyone knows the guy's name.
Mr. Cunningham. Mr. Cunningham from Happy Days.
Cunningham.
From
Happy Days.
Yeah,
that's
Richie Cunningham. So
Yeah.
We'll just call him Mr. Cunningham from Happy Days versus Dan Arnold, John Goodman from Roseanne. So we'll start with Jen. We'll start with Jen this time. We'll just keep working up the ladder here.
Oh, this is tough. They have very similar vibes, but I gotta go with Mr. Cunningham. Like he's just like a big hug. So yeah.
Yeah, I was literally Jen and I are on the same way. Like he's just a big teddy bear. Like he's a good dude. He even loves the Fonz. Like he's a good guy. I didn't watch much Roseanne, so I'll just go with Mr. Cunningham.
Yeah, for me, I think I gotta go with Dan Arnold, just because I had a best friend who was like obsessed with Roseanne for whatever reason. I don't really know why, but he would always watch it, and he passed away. So so rest in peace to my good friend Doug. I'll vote for Dan Connor in his honor. So,
all right, Steven.
Well, I'm not. I don't think I've seen either of these shows. I think of the two, Happy Days seems like it would be the one that I would enjoy more. But I'm a huge John Goodman fan, so I'll go with Dan.
Yeah.
Well, since Sam is still not back, I don't know where he disappeared to. Well, how our tiebreaker procedure works, just while he's gone, is we rotate the tie-breaking vote from bottom to top, sort of like how we do with the voting. So we would have started with Sam as the first tiebreaker vote had we had a tie with only 4 people. So since we have 4 people right now, we'll start with the bottom. So Steven will get the tiebreaker vote. But how that works is I know you voted for Dan Arnold, but you can change your mind last second as the tiebreaker vote if you'd like to.
I don't really. It doesn't really matter who wins to me, but since I like John Goodman, I'll keep.
Fair enough.
All
Okay,
right.
so John Goodman, yeah, Dan Connor moves on.
And Sam said that his dog was really driving him crazy. He had to take him out really quick, so he'll be right back. But
it's okay. We'll keep the tiebreaker procedures in case. And how that works is, Jen, you'll be the next tiebreaker vote if we have another tie in the near future. All right.
All right. So up next we have Murray Goldberg from the Goldbergs versus Tim the Toolman Taylor. He's finally
from
here.
Home Improvement. All right.
Yeah,
but Jen gets the first vote. I have a feeling I know who she's going to vote for based on her
I
comments earlier, but we'll confirm it.
Yeah, I haven't watched the Goldbergs. I know like everyone that watches it absolutely loves it, but Tim the Toolman Taylor, come on, I got to go with that one.
Yep.
And yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm wearing my Ben for Tools t-shirt. I'm a Ben for Tim the Toolman guy, so I vote for Tim the Toolman.
Yeah, and I think if we actually had seeds, maybe Tim the Toolman might be a number 1 seed. So I got to go with Tim the Toolman for sure.
All right, Steven.
One show I've never seen, the other show I love. It's got to be Tim.
All right, that one's overwhelming. So yeah, Tim the Toolman hammers his way into the next round.
Yep, it is.
Or just blows up the bracket and just moves on by default.
Yeah, right. There's some crazy accident. Yeah. But next up we have Danny Tanner from Full House versus Jack Arnold from the Wonder Years.
Oh. And I think it's to me this time.
Yeah.
I never saw the Wonder Years, and I hate Full House. I'm sorry, that might be an unpopular opinion, but I can't freaking stand Full House. I think it's an annoying show. So just for the fact that I have a passionate hate for Full House, I'll vote for the Wonder Years, even though I've never seen it.
For me, like being a massive Boy Meets World fan, this is like Boy Meets World light, kind of like, and it's the best representation of the 70s I think that I've ever seen in a TV show. I think it's better than that 70s show as far as representing the 70s, like the true way that it actually was. So I got to go with Jack Arnold.
Okay, Steven.
Okay, I think the Wonder Years is easily the better show, but I'm gonna go with Danny Tanner because he's just he's more in the forefront than Jack Arnold was in the Wonder Years.
Yep.
All right.
Definitely, yeah.
Jen.
Yeah, I'm the similar opinion of Steven of like Danny Tanner, his whole persona is that he is a father. Like that is his thing. So I gotta go Danny.
Yeah.
Well, since Sam's not back yet, in time for the vote, we have a 2-2 tie, and Jen, you get the deciding votes. Are you going to stick with
Yeah.
Danny Tanner, or are you gonna change it?
Everywhere you look, Danny Tanner.
Well, I think that's overwhelming. So I couldn't buy him as a dad when I knew how dirty Bob Saget was in real life.
Yeah, right.
I just couldn't buy him. But anyways, that's besides the point. But yes, Full House.
Which is funny that on the show they make him super clean, and then also an actual clean freak. Like he's just like worried about like like messes and all that stuff. Yeah. So, but next up we have Ned Flanders versus Tony Soprano. This is a funny like the religious one versus maybe
that
like
couldn't be more
like
opposite.
Religious. Yeah. Well,
Sam, Sam's back. We put a few through while you were away. We couldn't wait for you, so we're sorry. But you'll find out.
No, I appreciate that you guys had to soldier on without me. Unfortunately, a Chihuahua's bladder does not wait.
Right.
I gotcha. Well, we're almost back around the horn to you. We starting with Jordan on this one, but right now we've got Ned Flanders versus Tony Soprano, the opposites of the century here.
Yeah, right.
So Jordan, you got the first vote on this one.
Well, for me, just like how sheer annoying Ned Flanders is, like I can't really vote for him. Like, so I got to vote for Tony Soprano, even though like he's way more despicable. I got to vote for Tony. Yeah. But Sam.
God, that's no,
fascinating one.
Yeah.
This is super rough.
This is the epitome of tournament fights right here. Is a matchup like this?
Yeah,
Given the, I hate to do this, but I think I'm gonna have to give this to Ned Flanders. I mean, I think he's a little overbearing as a dad, but as I have no background on Tony Soprano whatsoever, other than being the mobster that he is.
Yep.
Okay. Fair enough. Steven.
Mobster or religious nut?
Yep.
I'll have to go with the mobster on this.
All right. Yes. Gonna vote for evil this time. All right, Jen.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, essentially, if you were the son or their daughter of either one of us, you're essentially in a cult. One of them is very like overtly fundamentalist and everything, and the other one you're part of the mob. So if I wanted to opt for one of those options, like I guess I'd go with Soprano. Like I think that's a little more fun. You get a little more excitement in your day. So
right. All right.
And yeah, I'll agree. Even though he's a damn mob boss, I would not want to be Ned Flanders' kid. Sorry, no thanks. I'll go with Tony Soprano. So Tony Soprano is going to order the hit on Ned Flanders, and he's going to move on.
Yeah. Yep. Right. All right. Well, next up we have George Jetson versus Jack Bauer.
Oh.
All right.
All right. Steven.
I think Sam.
Or Sam, I'm sorry. Yes, we're back around. So yeah, it is Sam this time. So George Jetson and Jack Bauer.
George Jetson and Jack Bauer. I would want a Jack Bauer between the two of these.
Yeah.
If something crazy were to happen, I'd need a dad to have my back, kind of like Jack does.
Oh yeah. Steven?
The thing about Jack though is a lot of people around him tends to die.
And the people that do that also tend to end up dead.
Although Kemp actually is still alive, so yeah, I love the Jetsons, but 24 is my favorite TV show of all time, so I'm going with Jack Bauer.
All right. All right, Jen.
Yeah, I'm of a similar opinion here. Like George Jetson, like he's not exactly great dad material. He's kind of an absent-minded father and doesn't really care about his kids that much compared to some of these other cartoon dads. Meanwhile, Jack Bauer, like he's not around because he's so busy all the time trying to save the world, but he also would come and save you if you needed it. So Jack Bauer.
Yep.
I'll vote George Jetson just because if I was his kid, I'd get to grow up and drive a flying car. That's the only reason.
Yeah, right.
We harped so much, Jen, on flying cars the other night.
We gotta fly.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, I think for me, I got to go with Jack Bauer. just because like he'll go to any lengths to save you if you're in trouble. Like I mean any lengths. So I mean yeah, like I would go with Jack Bauer. So
Well, Jack Bauer's not moving into the 24, but he's moving into the 32. You see
right.
there?
Yeah, right. Yeah. So I do want to say though, they had another iteration of this bracket when I was kind of making it that actually had Fred Flintstone on this, but for some reason or another, that one didn't save. So George Jetson's gonna have to be the lone Hanna-Barbera representation. There's no Fred Flintstone, but I meant for him to be there, so I at least wanted to mention that. So
Okay.
I like the Jetsons more than the Flintstones anyway.
But it's got a lot of rage issues, so it's okay.
True.
Yeah.
Yep. So our next matchup we have Ned Stark versus Uncle Phil.
No!
Oh no!
Might be a tough one.
Game of Thrones versus Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yep.
Oh man, Steven, you got the first one on this one. What are you gonna do?
Decisions. It depends which one you're more of a fan of.
I've seen like 9 episodes of Game of Thrones. I gotta be honest. Although I did see a little bit of the Battle of the Bastards, and I thought that was cool. And I thought, well, when does this cool stuff happen? Because the first season is kind
You're
of
right.
dull.
Yeah, same. I was the same way.
So I'm going with Uncle Phil.
Yep.
Okay, Jen. I saw
I'm
you
so
light
mad
up on
right
this
now.
one. Man, oh no.
I'm so mad. Like this, honestly, if I was up, like if this were up to me, these would be like my finalists. So I'm so mad that this happened so early. Like I love Game of Thrones and I love Ned Stark. However, he keeps a lot of secrets from his kids. Yes, he does it because he means well and he's trying to like protect his realm and everyone in it. But Uncle Phil is one of the best TV dads of all time.
Mhm.
Uncle Phil all the way.
Yep. All right, Austin.
Yeah, Uncle Phil's a better dad than Will's dad. I mean, come on, he's the man. Uncle Phil's.
Yeah.
We
awesome.
don't talk
And-
about
and-
Will's
and-
dad.
And Ned Stark gets
You
his head
abandoned
chopped off by a kid, essentially. So no, that's weak sauce. So you
Yeah.
lose.
Yeah. For me, like I think that like Ned Stark, he got taken down so easily. Like isn't he supposed to be the king? And like but like from like
He
a couple
trusts people. That's his
Yeah.
problem.
from like a couple like wrongdoings, like he just had to just like pretty much agree to have his head chopped off or whatever. So yeah, I got to go with Uncle Phil. Like Uncle Phil's one of the best dads on this whole bracket. So and he's not even considered. Well, he's not even like.
He's got uncle in his
Like-
name.
Yeah.
Uncle. Like
But he is a
Yeah,
father.
dad
He's a
is
father
a-
to the rest of the
Yeah,
kids. So I
exactly.
mean, he's a father. He counts. Absolutely.
right. Yep. So I got to go.
Sam.
Go Father Phil. We'll call him.
Yeah.
that.
I think it was somebody who said earlier when this started that if Uncle Phil doesn't end up in the top 3, they were going to be super salty.
Something like
And
that.
Right. Yep.
I think I
Yeah.
feel the same way, so I got to give it to Uncle Phil.
Well, much like how Sean Bean dies in every movie he's in, he's going to die in this bracket too. So an early death. So goodbye, Ned Stark.
Yeah. The very first comment that we had in the live chat, Fair's said Uncle
Yeah.
Phil's the answer.
Well,
the very
Yeah,
very
well, let's
first
just
one.
say again,
Gotta have
if we
Uncle
had
Phil.
seeds, he'd be top 3 of seeds for sure. Like he'd
Oh,
be
yeah.
pretty high up there. Yeah.
Definitely. So yep.
But yeah, Uncle Phil moves on. Absolutely.
Definitely S
Phil.
tier dad.
Yep.
Mhm.
Definitely S tier. Yep. If we were.
Yeah, if we were doing tier ranker, yeah, he'd be pretty near the top.
The next one we have
Boy.
Dexter there versus I forget the guy from what's it called, the show that makes everyone cry.
This is us.
yeah This Is Us. Milo Ventimiglia though.
Ooh.
Mm.
I've actually met him. He was at a Comic-Con too that we went to, Milo Ventimiglia. So but who's up?
Jen, I believe you're first on this one. We got a serial killer, and we've got whoever Milo Ventimiglia is on This Is Us.
Yeah,
Yep.
I've actually never watched either of these shows. I didn't even know Dexter was a father. Meanwhile, for
Oh, yeah.
This Is Us, I know that this guy is a father, and it like totally is just cry fuel. So I guess I'll go for This Is Us based on that.
Okay. And I haven't seen This Is Us at all, but I watched all of Dexter, so I'll just go with Dexter has time to be a father and kill people on the side, so all right.
Yeah,
working
right.
Yeah, he's a working father.
Yeah, for me, like as far as actors go, like these are two of my favorite actors of all time for TV. I was a massive Heroes fan, so he played Peter Petrelli from Heroes also. So I think that for that reason, I got to go with Milo Ventimiglia because he was great on Heroes as well. So I'll do that.
All right, Sam.
All right.
Yep. Well, I think Milo has taken this one, but I do have to say that even though I know nothing about that I didn't know anything about Dexter, I am surprised that a man could be both a serial killer and a father successfully. Don't spoil it for me.
Yeah, right.
And I think on that Herculean, note, I'm actually going to have to give this one to Dexter.
Where does he find the time?
All right. Yeah, right. Exactly.
How do you keep your kids separate from that?
Yeah.
All
right, Steven.
So Dexter's a serial killer, but if I remember correctly, he kills other killers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He kills bad people.
That's his MO.
He's not killing good people.
So he's not. So at least if
you want to rationalize killing, yeah.
Yeah, he's still a murderer, but yeah.
Yeah, I saw the pilot of Dexter and I liked it a lot, and I want to finish it before the revival comes on.
You got a long way to go.
Yep.
So, but yeah, I'll probably go with Milo Ventimiglia. Even though I've never seen This Is Us, he seems like he's probably a better dad. So I'll go with him.
Just a scoop.
All right, Milo. The serial killer gets killed in the brackets of Milo Ventimiglia.
Just to say, that would have been really weird if both Dexter and Tony Soprano went through. So I'm going to made the right decision.
Right. Yeah. It would have been an interesting matchup for sure. But next up, we have John Ritter as Paul Hennessy from 8 Simple Rules against Walter White from Breaking Bad.
Another great dad versus a despicable dad. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Exactly.
I think it's me at this time. Okay. Yeah. Jim went right. Yeah. Okay. Rest in peace, John Ritter. I love John Ritter. I'll put him through on this one. I miss him.
Yeah. Like Breaking Bad is one of my favorite of all time. It's probably my top 5 favorite shows, but like he's just a horrible father. Like, I mean, his sick, twisted mind, he thinks he's doing it for his family, but I got to go with John Ritter.
All right,
Sam.
Yeah, it's got to be John Ritter.
All right, Steven.
I've never seen 8 Simple Rules, and I think Breaking Bad is a great show. And even though, yeah, he's not a great dad, he did finally confess that he didn't do it for his family, that he did it for himself in the in the series finale, I think. But I'll go. Even though, like I said, even though he's a terrible dad, I'll go with Walter White.
All right.
Jen? Yeah, I absolutely love Breaking Bad. And if you were looking at the Jesse Pinkman relationship, he is a great father to Jesse, but he's a terrible father to his own kids personally. Poor Walter Jr. So yeah, I got to go John Ritter.
Yeah, and he kidnaps his own baby 3 episodes.
He kidnaps the baby. Wow. It's really bad.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Yeah. All right, John Ritter's going to move on this one from 8 Simple Rules.
All right. Gonna moving on up. All right. Then next up we have Ray Romano from Everybody Loves Raymond versus Jay Pritchett from Modern Family. So Ed O'Neill's back.
Oh, Ed O'Neill twice on this list, much like Tim Allen. Yeah.
Yep.
And Jordan, I think it goes to you this time. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think so. I was a little late to the Everybody Loves Raymond party, and my wife is a big fan of it, and surprisingly, that show's really funny. I really enjoyed it. We went back and watched a few seasons of it. So I think I got to go with Ray Romano, and also for his voice. He has one of the most unique voices. There's a few people on that show that have really unique voices. So I like that. So yeah, Ray Romano.
All right, Sam.
Manny the Mammoth, definitely.
Yep, right.
I'm gonna go with Ed O'Neill. I think I like Modern Family a little more than. I mean, I haven't seen too many episodes of either show, but I like Modern Family a little bit more than Everybody Loves Raymond.
All right. Well, Jen.
All right, Jen.
Yeah, like for me, like Everybody Loves Raymond, I always view Raymond as more of a son than a father, just because that's like the major dynamics of the show are his parents. So I guess I got to give it to Ed O'Neill on this one.
Yeah.
Mm.
All right.
As much as I love Ed O'Neill, I love a different Ed O'Neill on this list rather than this one. So I love Raymond, so I'll put through Ray Romano.
All right. So it's Ray Romano, right?
This panel, yeah, this bracket loves Raymond, so we're gonna move.
Yeah.
Raymond.
Everybody on this bracket loves Raymond. So we have Peter Griffin up next versus Mike Seaver from Growing Pains. All right, and I think Sam, you're up.
Yep. It's got to be Mike Seaver. I have seen a few episodes of Family Guy, and I can't do it.
Yeah. Kind of a horrible dad.
Peter is not. he's not what I think of when I think of dad.
Yeah.
He's very abusive to those kids.
Yeah. All right, Steven.
Yeah, I haven't never seen Growing Pains, but I'm not gonna vote for Family Guy, so I'll go with Growing Pains.
All right.
Yeah, these two are like the opposite ends of the spectrum in terms of like just making your life hell and like being part of everything that you do. So I guess I do go Mike Seaver, even though like it probably would be really annoying to have him as a dad.
Yep.
Well, he raised Kirk Cameron, who also turned into a religious nut. So you know, but despite that, Peter Griffin, if we were doing tier ranker fights, would be much like Lois on the F level. So I'll definitely vote for Mike Seaver.
Yeah. Well, with that, I guess Mike Seaver, because I'm not gonna vote for Peter Griffin either, because I think that like he's just totally like abusive. If you watch the thing he actually does, especially to like Meg, like especially like, oh man, he just beats the hell out of her and farts in her face and all that stuff. So yeah, I gotta go with Mike Seaver. So we'll go there. So next up we have Coach Eric Taylor, Friday Night Lights, versus Ward Cleaver.
Oh, wow.
Two pretty upstanding guys.
Steven, you're up.
Sorry. Well, I've never seen Friday Night Lights, but I'm a big Kyle Chandler fan, so I'll say him.
Okay.
Yeah, do yourself a favor and watch Friday Night Lights. It's one of my favorite of all time.
Yeah, I also got to go Kyle Chandler because, like, honestly, the Cleavers they call their kid Beaver. It's weird. So yeah, Kyle Chandler.
That's a little weird.
Yeah. I admire June Cleaver a lot more than Ward Cleaver. So I'll when we talked about the Motherly Show. So even though I've never seen Friday Night Lights, I like Kyle Chandler too. So I'll vote for him.
Yeah. And I think for me, I gotta go with Kyle Chandler. Coach Eric Taylor, like that show just like gets me every time. Like I probably rewatched it like 3 or 4 times. And like my wife wants to rewatch it again because she loves it that much too. So I got to go with Kyle Chandler.
Yeah,
Sam.
I think.
Yeah,
I think that my vote has been swayed. Jen brought up a fantastic point.
It's really weird.
It is, and honestly, I think it's borderline bullying. Although apparently it wasn't back in that day. So I think we're gonna put Coach through.
Yeah.
Well, Jordan, this panel's a little hard on the Beaver tonight, so we'll put through Coach.
Yeah, right. A little rough on the Beaver. Yep. Well, we'll move on to the next. So we have one more dad from Modern Family, Phil Dunphy, versus I always forget his actual name. It was Peter Boyle from Everybody Loves Raymond. I forget the character's name, but
okay. So we got Tyrell versus Peter Boyle.
Yeah, right.
And I believe Jen, you're up first on this one.
Oh, like I know earlier I said like, well, I don't view Raymond as the dad of the show. He's the dad of the show here. But I love the character of Phil Dunphy. He's super fun and like he's like a dad that I would want to have. So yeah, I got to go Phil.
All right, Austin.
All right. And I'll vote for Peter Boyle. I can't remember his character either, but I'll vote for him.
Yeah, this one's tough because these are like two characters that I really love a lot, and like probably I would just have to go with Phil Dunphy because he just seems like the more fun dad. Like he'd be an awesome dad to have. Like you could have a pretty good time with him. So yeah, I gotta go with Phil Dunphy. Sam?
For sure, Phil Dunphy. Between the two of them, Phil's definitely the kind of dad that he's a lot more supportive in just the right kind of way.
Yep.
Especially for somebody like me in my personal life and in my brain, that kind of support is immeasurably helpful.
Yep.
All right, Steven.
Hi, Steven.
Yes. So my memory, I haven't seen it in a while, but my memory of Everyone Loves Raymond, he always seems to be cranky. So so yeah, I'd have to go with Phil.
Yeah.
All right. Well, everybody did not love Raymond in this bracket, so we'll go with
Right.
Modern Family in this one.
No, we did not. We loved one dad, but not the other. Yep. Yep. So next up, we have Terry Crews from Everybody Hates Chris. So he played Julius Rock on the show. Then we have Eugene Levy from Schitt's Creek. Jack Rose, is that his name? I think. Yeah.
I think so.
So
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on me this time. I haven't seen either
Awesome.
show, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I hear good things about Schitt's Creek. But my love of Eugene Levy will be more than Terry Crews, so I'll go with Eugene Levy.
Johnny Rose is his name. Yeah. That's it. So yeah,
Okay.
I think this one's pretty tough because it's like two characters that like I absolutely love as actual characters. I mean, so this one's really tough. I think that probably I have to go with Johnny Rose. I think he's just a little more tolerable, like a little less annoying. Because if you watch Everybody Hates Chris, like he gets like super obsessive about things. Like if you spill a little milk, he's like, somebody spilled 15 cents of milk there. Somebody got to pay for that or whatever. And like he's really like super frugal and all that. And Johnny Rose was rich. I mean, I guess they kind of went bankrupt a little bit, but I mean, at one point you got to live the rich lifestyle. So I'll go with Johnny Rose.
Yep.
Sam?
All right, Sam.
I love me some Old Spice.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
So, I love Eugene Levy. If we were including movies, his character in the American Pie movies are certainly up there. I've only seen the first couple episodes of Schitt's Creek, and I really didn't like it. And plus, he doesn't seem like a great dad. I've never seen Everybody Loves Chris, but I've liked Terry Crews and about everything else that I've seen him in. So I'll go with him.
Okay. And Jen, you're gonna break
All
the tie here. What do you
Oh
put there?
man, it's tough because like the point has been made that like the Schitt's Creek character, he kind of like put his family in dire straits, but at the same time, it's Eugene Levy, and I can't vote against him honestly. So that's it. I gotta vote for him.
Fair enough.
That's tough.
Fair enough.
All right.
All right. Eugene Levy
With that.
pulls through, and everybody hates Chris as well, and loves Raymond. So
Yep,
no
right.
different here.
Yep. So next up, we have Sterling K. Brown from This Is Us. I always forget his character's name, but
It's
against
just Sterling
Frank
K. Brown.
Costanza. Yeah, right.
Oh,
Sterling K.
man.
Brown.
Oh, dear.
And Frank
Seinfeld.
Costanza from Seinfeld. All right.
Yeah. So am I up first, or who's up?
I believe so. Yeah,
did you
yeah,
all?
Jordan, you're up.
Okay. Yeah.
No,
So,
I voted for Eugene Levy. Yeah, you got.
yeah.
Mhm.
So I've never seen This Is Us, but I've heard people say that like he's even like the better dad on the show. Like he's the best dad, the one that really like makes everyone cry. So I mean, he's a great actor, but I mean, this is Frank Costanza. I mean, like Seinfeld has my heart totally. So I mean, I'm a huge Seinfeld fan. I gotta vote Frank Costanza here. So Serenity now.
Yeah.
Sam,
You know, and I just I don't know. I can't vote for Frank Costanza.
yeah,
I don't
A little
have
bit of a
any other
scumbag.
background other than I
All
don't
right.
enjoy.
So you vote for Sterling K. Brown.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Fair enough. Steven.
I've never seen This Is Us, even though he doesn't exactly he's not exactly Father of the Year material. I will still vote for Frank Costanza because he is a very entertaining.
yeah, for sure. Jen, what?
Jen,
You saying you want a piece of me? I love
Yeah.
Frank Costanza. I love Seinfeld. However, yeah, like looking at him as a father figure, he's a little overbearing for George and probably is the source of a lot of his problems. Meanwhile, like I haven't seen This Is Us, but the clips that I have seen, a lot of the times they're monologues from Sterling K. Brown, and he can like really deliver a heartfelt moment. So I think I got to go for him.
Yeah. Well,
Well, when it comes to this bracket, it'll be a Festivus for the rest of us. So I'm
yeah. Any dad that can
I know
rock
he
a man
screams
with
all the
fear
time and he's
has
not
to
nice
go.
as George, but I'm a Seinfeld guy, so I got to go Frank Costanza.
With that, I think Frank Costanza moves on.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. So our next matchup, we have Carl Winslow from Family Matters. First, this one's kind of a funny one. We have Randy Marsh from South Park.
From South Park.
Yep. Probably one of the worst fathers on here, but
But anything could happen, so we'll start with Sam.
Anything's possible.
Yeah.
Just because you're a bad dad doesn't mean we still can't vote for him, you know.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, I got to go with Carl.
Yep. Steven?
Yeah, I love South Park, but yeah, Carl.
All right, Jen.
Yeah, this is a really easy one. You got to go Carl. Like Randy is just there to make everyone's lives hell. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Carl loses his temper fairly easily, but at his heart, he's a good dad and he's a good cop, and we need more good cops in the world. So I vote Carl.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be unanimous. Like I'm like a semi fan of South Park. It's like sometimes you have like super funny episodes, but then like just out of the blue, you have episodes where they're like
Sometimes they're
raping
duds,
children,
yeah.
and then
Yeah.
like they're like abusing animals and doing crazy stuff. And I'm just like, what the heck are we doing here? So yeah, I got to go with Carl Winslow for sure.
I think Carl Winslow would have been one of our top 5 seeds had we have seeds as well. He'd be pretty far up there. So
yeah, he's up there with Uncle Phil. Maybe we'll get the Carl Winslow Uncle Phil matchup sometime.
We could. That would be tough. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So our next matchup, this is Frank Lambert from Step by Step, another TGIF old school show, and then versus Lieutenant Worf from Star Trek with his son Alexander there.
All right.
All right, Steven.
Yeah.
All right. Even though Worf is not in a lot of Alexander's life, I've never seen Step by Step, and I love Star Trek TNG, so I'll go with Worf.
Okay.
All right, Jen.
Yeah, like you made a good point of he's not around a lot for his son. However, Worf is a great just father figure to look up to. So I got to go Worf. Come on.
Yep.
Yeah, Step by Step's probably the better dad, but I mean, me and Jen, we're Trekkies at heart, Jen. So I kind of have to go with
One
Worf,
of these
even
people
though
flies. So
even
Yeah,
though
right.
he has no problem just like committing suicide if he has to, and just leaving Alexander. But like, I'll still go with Worf.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I think I gotta go with Worf too, just because I met Michael Dorn at a Comic-Con, and like he was like a super nice guy. He had huge hands. His hands were twice the size of mine, but they were. But yeah, he was an awesome guy, and like Step by Step. The only thing that I remember is the theme song. That like it has a great theme song. Step by step, day by day. So yeah. I gotta
And
go.
the hot mom.
Yeah, right. Yep. So my vote is for Worf.
All right, Sam.
Yeah. Definitely Worf. I think it's a special kind of strength to be able to do that sort of thing.
Yeah. Very true.
Well, step by step, we'll get left in the thick of the night, and Worf will move on.
Yep.
You see what I did there? That was Alan. Alan Thicke's talk show in the '80s that didn't go anywhere.
Okay.
It was called Thick of the Night.
Okay, nice. But
it's an obscure reference here on tournament fights.
But with that, we reached the end of round 1. So first round's done. We're on to round 2. So I'm going to scroll back up and see what we got for round 2. Let's see.
Time-wise, this next round we might need to speed through it just a tad faster, just letting everybody know, because we're a little behind where we were last night. So let's you can still give your thoughts, but we might need to pick up the pace just a tad, just letting everybody know.
Now I'm going to zoom it out just a little bit. So, but yeah, our first matchup we have Red Foreman versus Al Bundy, 2 old crotchety dads. So.
And I believe Jen is up first for this one.
I will give it to the person who I think would win the fist fight, and that's Red.
Yep. Awesome.
Al gets in a lot of fights. I'll kind of disagree. He fights like whole strip clubs. I'll give it to Al on this one.
Was he in Korea? I don't think so.
Yeah, right.
No, but he works at a shoe store, so he's pissed off all the time. So I'll give it to him.
Yeah. I gotta give it to Red Foreman. I just think that like he'd probably win in a fight. He has to work down in like some kind of plant or wherever he works, and like he always comes home like with just like hating life. But at the end of the day, though, like he really does love his family. Unlike Al, who like probably might, but he really doesn't show it ever. At least Red has some glimpses that he cares. So I gotta go with Red. Sam?
Yeah, I definitely give it to Red.
All right, Steven?
Yeah, definitely Red.
All right. 4-1. Red Foreman takes down Al Bundy.
All right.
What a dumbass.
Right? Yeah, exactly. You might have a dumbass for a winner. You never know.
He looks extremely happy with our decision.
I know, right?
Picture, by the way.
Yeah, right.
Like, really?
Yeah. Next up, we have George Jefferson versus Martin Crane.
No, okay. Fraser versus Jeffersons, and I think I'm up on this one. This is a tough one. I like both, but I'll go with the Jeffersons. I'll go with George Jefferson.
Well, just for the fact that I've never seen an episode of the Jeffersons in my life, that I got to go with Martin Crane.
All right. Sam.
Yep, I agree with Jordan. You got to go with what you know, and what I know is Martin Crane.
Yep.
I love John Mahoney, and I think Martin Crane is a great character. I'm definitely going with him.
All right. Jen?
Yeah, I think Martin is the much more complex, interesting character, and he's got a lot of levels, and he's got a lot of levels of dadness. So yeah, Martin Crane.
Yeah. With that.
Well, George Jefferson only moved into round 2. He will not move into round 3. So
no,
Martin Crane on this one.
No, you're not. So next up, we have Gomez Adams versus Michael Bluth.
All right, Jordan.
I guess I'm up first, but I'm just a massive Arrested Development fan. Like, I've seen every single episode, and like, he really has a lot of love for his son, even though like they have a really kind of weird relationship because their family's so screwed up. But I got to go with Michael Bluth.
All right, Sam.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm gonna go with Michael Bluth too. I feel like that between the two, you couldn't get into as much dangerous mischief with Michael Bluth around. Whereas as much as Gomez loves his family,
you might end up in jail though. So.
Right. True. Yep.
All right, Steven.
Big Jason Bateman fan, so I'll go with Michael.
All right.
I think Michael's already through, but I would throw it to Gomez because personally for me, the Netflix season, once Arrested Development got moved to Netflix, the character of Michael turned into a really bad father. So for that reason, I would vote for Gomez.
Yeah. And I
That
still
is
vote
true.
for John Aston because he gave me a hug, so I'll forever vote for him.
Well, the hug wasn't enough to sustain you, I
but
guess.
it wasn't enough to save Gomez, as Arrested Development is going to move on.
Yep. All right, Michael Bluth, moving on. So we have Sheriff Andy Taylor versus Dick Van Dyke.
Andy Griffin versus Dick Van Dyke. Jen, what are you going to do with this one?
Oh dear.
Oh,
Yeah,
like these are two classics, but I think Dick Van Dyke lasted a much longer time. Like I think they made it to color. Like that was a bigger show for me. It's got to go Dick Van Dyke.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Yeah, this is a tough one. I'll go Dick Van Dyke.
This one's tough because they're kind of similar in a lot of ways, but just for the fact that I met Dick Van Dyke at a Comic-Con, got to shake his hand. Like he was pretty awesome to meet because he's getting kind of up there in age. So I got to go Dick Van Dyke.
That's
Sam?
awesome. Yeah. I feel like I got to go with Dick Van Dyke.
All right.
Mhm. Well, I don't really have a leg in this race, so I'll just go along with everyone.
Okay.
All right. Fair
I
enough.
feel like Sheriff Andy, had he been in another bracket, would be probably moving on, but that's what happens here. Mm-hmm.
Yep. This is going to be.
But yeah, we're going to move forward. Dick Van Dyke.
Dick Van Dyke, Cockney accent and all, which apparently is offensive. I'm not British, but apparently
He didn't have the Cockney accent in the show, so it's okay.
Not in the show.
Yeah, no.
I mean,
No,
maybe
not
he
in
did
the
at
show.
one point, but yeah.
right.
I feel like Dick
No.
Van Dyke would have better dad jokes.
Yeah,
Yes.
right.
Yeah.
Definitely. So the next up we have Hank Hill versus the dad from OC,
Sandy
which I
from
always forget his
OC.
name. Sandy, yeah, from OC.
Sandy from the OC. Yeah, I didn't vote for Hank Hill last time, but I'll vote for him this time just because I'm not an OC fan. But I like Hank Hill, so I'll go with Hank Hill.
Yeah, the OC is kind of one of those shows that I've kind of been curious to go back and watch, but I've never seen an episode, so I got to go with Hank Hill.
Yep.
Sam?
Hank Hill.
Same. Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
I'll probably be. Looks like I'm outvoted, but I'm going with Sandy.
All right. Jan?
I mean, I never really watched the OC, but I know it's like about a bunch of teens in California having troubles. So obviously his father's skills were really put to the test and probably didn't hold up so well. But Hank Hill, yeah.
I think
Yep.
he's a great
Alright.
dad.
All right.
Well, Hank Hill is once
Yeah.
again king of the brackets. So yeah.
Gonna drive his lawnmower over into round 3.
At least it's a cartoon dad that's like not a bad dude. Like he's a decent
Doing
father
it.
Right.
once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. He's not a despicable person.
Right. So
All right.
next up we have Herman Munster versus Mike Brady.
Ooh.
It's an interesting
All right,
one.
Jordan. You got to kick
Well,
off this one.
Well, I was gonna vote for Herman Munster because I want to see the Gomez Adams matchup, but
Y'all ruined that.
yeah, right. You guys ruined that, so I gotta go
Yeah.
Mike Brady probably for this one. He's a little more wholesome, but even for like a Frankenstein guy, like he's still pretty wholesome. But I gotta go with Mike. Sam,
Yep. Mike Brady.
All right. Steven?
Herman.
Herman? Okay.
all right.
Jen?
Just because he's a Frankenstein doesn't mean he still doesn't have a heart, okay?
Right.
I'm voting for Herman Munster to keep up the spooky representation. There you go.
And
the
I'll
tiebreaker.
somewhat go with the spooky representation, but for Pet Cemetery, not for Munsters, because I love him in that movie. So I'll go
right.
with Herman Munster for that reason.
Dead is
So
better.
Herman Munster takes
Right.
down, Dead is better.
Yeah.
Better not go over the other side of that
Mike
road.
Yep. But
I could do his accent all day from that movie. I love it. Well, now don't go stepping on the other side of that road, huh?
nice. But next
Jordan,
up,
you haven't seen it, I know yet, but you
No.
gotta watch that movie.
yeah, right. Gotta see it. Well, might try to squeeze it in tonight before we do our horror show tomorrow. We'll see. But
Yeah.
we have Herschel from The Walking Dead versus
Ooh.
Family Ties dad. I always forget it.
Family Ties. Mr. Keaton from Family
Yeah.
Ties. Michael Gross.
Right.
Yeah. So we go back to Sam for this one.
Yeah. Yep.
Mhm.
Michael Keaton.
Yep.
Michael Keaton's dad.
Yeah. Right.
I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with Herschel.
Herschel.
All right.
Okay. Jen.
Yeah, I think Michael Gross only made it through because of Tremors, honestly, last time. So I'm going with Herschel.
That's very possible. Yeah,
Awesome.
I did that for the first round, but for this round, I'll go with Farmer Herschel. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that like, is there anyone you want to try to survive with? I think definitely Herschel. Like he just like he's a survivor. Like he's got real wisdom. I gotta go with Herschel.
All right. Well, Michael Gross's beard can't save him in this one. Herschel has a better beard, so I think he won.
Yeah,
that
Look
one.
at that beard, though.
Yeah, look at that beard. That's a nice 80s beard.
Yep. So next up, we have Homer Simpson versus Stu Pickles.
Oh, we got a cartoon matchup. How about that? Okay.
Cartoon.
All right. So Steven's first on this one. Homer versus Stu.
Homer is more iconic and I think more entertaining, so I'm going with Homer.
All right, Jen.
Yeah, like these two they're actually pretty similar. They're both kind of absent-minded fathers, whereas Stu is father to a baby, so the fact that he's not around for the baby is a little troublesome, so I gotta go with Homer.
Yeah.
All right.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, Homer would be in like the C or D level on tier ranker, but I think this one's more about entertainment value just overall, so I'll go with Homer on this one.
Yeah, and like I was just kind of lukewarm when it came to Rugrats. I wasn't like super gung ho like a lot of kids from the '90s. So I got to go with Homer. Plus, I'm a diehard Simpsons fan, so yeah, I got Homer.
Yep.
Sam?
Homer for sure.
All right, with that, he is into the next round for Homer J. Simpson, and that is the end of that side. So we will
All
move
right,
up
so
to
we got to head over to the right side and finish out our nominations for the Sweet 16 before we get to halftime.
All right. So next up, we have Dan Arnold Dan Connor.
Dan Connor from
John
Roseanne.
Goodman.
Yeah, right.
Versus Tim the Toolman Taylor from Home
Tim the-
Improvement.
Yeah, Tim the Toolman Taylor.
So Jen, I think this might be another obvious one.
I
much like the
mean-
same last time.
Yeah, it's got to be Tim the Toolman Taylor. I love John Goodman, but like, he's just kind of there on Roseanne. So yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, 1,000% Tim. We'll talk more about him later, I'm sure. I'll just vote quickly for him now.
Yeah, I'll just make it quick. Yeah, Tim.
Definitely
It might be
Tim.
unanimous. Yep.
All right. Steven?
Yep, Tim.
All right.
All
Clean
right.
sweep for Tim the Toolman. He moves on.
That was an easy one. All right. We got Danny Tanner versus
Tony Soprano.
Tony Soprano.
Oh,
right.
boy.
Man, just taking out all the wholesome guys. Man.
Yeah. I guess it goes to me first. Oh, my God. The show
Ain't
I
that like a
hate
murderous spree?
versus the murderous mob father.
Yeah.
Oh, man. You know what? As much as I hate Full House, I'll put Bob Saget through on this one. So I'll go Danny Tanner.
Yeah.
I can't consciously put Tony Soprano through on this one. I'm sorry.
No, like I don't think in good conscience that really could either. Like he's just a cheating kind of murderous kind of guy that he's a horrible person. So I got to go with Danny Tanner. Sam?
All right.
Definitely Danny.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I've never seen The Sopranos. I'm sure it's a better show than Full House. But Danny Tanner is, definitely.
Yep.
Okay.
Jen?
Yeah, I think with Danny Tanner as a father, there's no danger of you ever dying. There's danger of falling off a horse and losing your memory, which is a thing that happened on the show, but you're not going to die. So Danny Tanner.
I did not know that.
And you're always going to have a clean house.
Yep.
So, yeah, so.
All right.
Yeah, but you'll
Danny
have to
Tanner
be
from Full House.
Yeah. So, our next matchup, we have Jack Bauer.
Versus
Aw.
Uncle Phil.
Aw.
All right, who's up?
Jordan's up, I believe. Yeah.
Oh, man, this one's tough for me. Oh.
This is tough, really? I don't think this would be tough. Okay.
Yeah, for me, like I'm a huge Jack Bauer fan. Like I would like low key kind of love to have him as a dad because I can brag on my friends. He's this like secret agent that goes on all these cool missions, takes out bad guys. But really, he's not really around much. But he's yeah. I mean, as much as I want to go for Jack Bauer, like you can't vote against Uncle Phil. You just can't. So I got to go with Uncle Phil. Sam?
Yeah, definitely Uncle Phil. I am gonna refute you just a little bit there. Well, it's not my place because it's not our thing. But
That's fine.
could you really tell people that? Oh yeah, my dad's a secret agent for counter-terrorist unit. Because
That's true.
you'd think that job would be like, well, I could tell you, but then I'd have to kill you.
Right, exactly. Maybe you couldn't say anything. Yeah, true. Steven?
All right, Steven.
What do you think?
I know I'm gonna be outvoted but like I said, 24 is my favorite TV show of all time. So I'm going with Jack Bauer.
All right,
Jen.
Jen?
Here's the thing. Uncle Phil is so smart and capable a person. I feel like he could do Jack Bauer's job in half the time. So I got to go Uncle Phil. Like he'd have time, like
Maybe so.
solve all the crisis on the phone and be back for supper. So yeah, Uncle Phil.
Well, Uncle Phil fights crime legally as a judge.
Yes.
Instead of using torture methods that are questionable. So I will go Uncle Phil in that aspect.
Yeah, like if you went up against Jack Bauer in like a fight versus Uncle Phil in a courtroom, I don't know which one you'd be more afraid of,
Yeah.
Yeah. But
All right.
next
Uncle Phil
matchup,
takes it.
we have Milo Ventimiglia from This Is Us versus Paul
John
Hennessy.
Ritter from John Ritter from 8 Simple Rules.
Yeah.
All right, Sam.
Oh god.
The two really good dads.
Yeah, I gotta give this one to Milo for no other reason than it's Milo.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I hear that. Steven?
I've never seen either show. I'm not actually really that big, with exception of several shows. I'm not really that big into sitcoms.
Okay.
So just seems like it'd be more for me. So I'll go with Milo.
Yeah.
All right.
Jen?
I'll reiterate what Sam said, but flip it because I can't not vote for John Ritter because it's John Ritter. There you go.
Yep.
Yeah,
Awesome.
and John Ritter's even a good dad in like the Problem Child movies. Like even though Junior is an absolute monster, like he's a good dad. So I'll vote for him.
It's a little bit of like troublemaker womanizer in like Three's Company, kind of a little, but I mean, but like Milo Ventimiglia, like for some reason I just can't vote against him, so I got to go with Milo.
Didn't he play Katherine Heigl's father in Bride of Chucky?
Yes.
We might have.
Yeah. It was one of his last movies, along with Bad Santa. Well, actually, Bad Santa was his last movie, but
I think Bad Santa was
yeah,
awesome.
he was. Yeah, but he was in Bride of Chucky as well. Yes, he was a cop. But rest in peace, John Ritter, both in real life and in this bracket. Unfortunately, This Is Us and Milo Ventimiglia moves on.
Yep. All right. So up next we have Ray Romano from Everybody Loves Raymond versus Mike Seaver from Growing Pains. All right,
Steven.
Who's up? Steven. All right.
I'll go with Ray Romano.
Yeah.
All right, Jen.
Yeah, I think Ray would be too busy bickering with his own parents to like give me any attention, whereas Mike Seaver would be like, where are you going every day? So like, I'm going to go with Raymond.
Yep.
Okay.
Austin?
Yeah, I'll go Raymond just because I watched that more than Growing Pains, so I'll go with that.
Yeah, this one's tough because I remember when I was in middle school, like they did it like Growing Pains Thursday for some reason, and like in one of my classes they showed us an episode of Growing Pains, like just for fun, and so like I because of that I have seen a fair amount, but like Growing Pains just always seemed super cheesy to me versus Everybody Loves Raymond was a little funnier and more entertaining, I thought. So I'll go with Ray.
Growing Pains has a lot of very special episodes. Like that's like very
yeah.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah, I gotta go with Ray.
All right. Well, this panel really loves Raymond in this round with a 5-0 sweep.
Yeah. Next up, we have Coach Eric Taylor versus Phil Dunphy. Right.
All right. Friday Night Lights versus Modern Family.
Yeah, versus someone who's like super goofy.
Jen, you start this one.
Oh, this is tough. I got to go with Phil. Like of all the people that are left, like he kind of stands out as like a very loving and like kooky kind of father. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Phil.
And again, we can vote for any reason. So last time I voted for Kyle Chandler, I'll just vote for Ty Burrell this time. Why not?
All right. Yeah.
For no reason. For no reason.
Well, I'll do the opposite. So I voted for Kyle Chandler last time. I'll vote for Phil Dunphy for no reason. Throw it out there. Sam?
Yeah, I gotta go with Phil Dunphy for sure.
All right. Steven.
Well, I've actually seen Modern Family. I'll say Phil.
All right. With that,
All
then I
right.
think Phil
from
And-
Modern Family moves on.
Yep. He advances. So next up we have Eugene Levy, Johnny Rose versus Frank Costanza.
It goes to me, and I'm still the Seinfeld guy. That hasn't changed even with this one. So Frank Costanza.
Yeah, same here. Like I'm all in on Seinfeld, so I got to go Frank Costanza. Sam?
Yep, definitely Frank Costanza.
Yep. Steven?
They both seem like bad dads. Seinfeld is a way better show, in my opinion, than Schitt's Creek. So, Frank Costanza.
Yeah.
All right.
Jen?
What I wouldn't give to see a crossover episode and have these two in the same room, but
I know.
Oh, yeah,
I'll go
absolutely.
rest in peace, Jerry Stiller. We'll go Frank Costanza.
Yep.
Oh yeah, definitely. I
Yeah,
like to
in
see him
memoriam
interact
rule.
with a lot of the different dads on this list. Actually,
Yeah.
put them in the same room for
Yep.
sure.
If in honor of like an in memoriam or whatever you want to call it, we'll let Jerry Stiller advance. Yeah. And then next up we have
It's
Carl
the
Winslow.
final one on this side, I believe. So yeah,
Aw.
Carl Winslow versus Lieutenant Worf. And I think this one goes to Jordan.
Yeah, this one I think, yeah, like it's pretty easy. Like I was like trying to find a reason to maybe advance Worf just to have some kind of like,
He flies.
yeah, well, to have something kind of different, you know, like something from space or something like that. But I gotta go with Carl Winslow. Sam?
I gotta go with Worf.
All right. Steven?
I mean, I love Star Trek. The Next Generation is in my top 5 of favorite shows of all time. But Carl is the better dad, and I forget. I mean, I know the actor's name, but I just have a hard time pronouncing it. But he was great in Die Hard, and of course, he's great in Family Matters. So yeah, I gotta go with Carl.
It might be the same person. There's that conspiracy theory that might be the same character.
Do we ever see him eating Twinkies in Family Matters?
Yeah, right. Not quite.
Possibly. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Jen.
But Jen?
Yeah, like I love Worf as a character and everything, but if we're looking specifically at father figures, definitely Carl Winslow.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm a Trekkie, but Carl Winslow wins this one pretty easily. Yeah.
Yep. So Carl Winslow moves on. All right.
Mm-hmm.
That's the end of that round. So we're
All right.
16.
We're into the Sweet 16. If
It's
anybody
kinda
needs to take
halftime,
a quick halftime break to maybe slip off to the restroom, you certainly can, because we'll take a quick break here. We'll still be talking, but if anybody needs to slip away for a second, you can do so.
Yeah.
We'll take a brief hiatus. So we'll talk about the bracket just so far. What do you think are the biggest upsets? The biggest, if you could scroll out a little bit, Jordan. Maybe some of the bigger upsets we've seen, or some of the bigger surprises. Maybe the stories of the day so far. Because we've got some.
I'm still mad Ned Stark got knocked out.
Yeah, right.
Well, that's the Sean Bean curse continues even on tournament fights here, right? You just can't catch a break. And I mean, we got Sheriff Andy. I thought was going to be into the Sweet 16, but maybe because of the bracket placement, he just didn't. I mean, a couple of the ones we kind of thought we were going to go through or have gone through, Tim the Toolman and Carl and Uncle Phil, a couple of pretty predictable ones. I'm a little surprised Al Bundy got knocked out a little early. That's a little surprising to me,
right.
even though he's not the greatest
Just
dad.
because he's a
just kind of-
prominent dad doesn't make him a good dad. That's why.
No, I understand, but we don't really consider that here on Tournament Fights. That's more of a tier ranker argument.
Keep your logic out of here.
Get your logic out of here on that one.
Yep.
I mean, you can use that logic, but yeah. But just because of how sort of recognizable he is, but Red Foreman is just as. So fortunately they came up against each other.
I mean, I knew Jack Bauer wasn't making it when he was going up against Uncle Phil, but I was a little like when I saw that he was going up against Uncle Phil, that kind of like, oh.
Yeah, it's like, oh man.
But the way the bracket's looking like some of our favorites could be going up against each other here soon. We could see Uncle Phil against Carl Winslow or Tim the Tool Man, and we could get in some really tough. We could see Red Foreman on the other side going against like Dick Van Dyke. I mean, this could get very hairy very soon.
Right.
So we may need to. If nobody needs a break, we may cut our halftime a little short and get into this because there might be a little. We might need some extra few seconds of thoughts on our voting going into this very contentious Sweet 16.
Right. And I was going to say, too, that I'm a little surprised Milo Ventimiglia made it.
That's a story,
Because, has anyone even seen This Is Us on this whole panel?
He's just a good-looking guy. I think that's what's going on.
Without anybody seeing the show, he's made it past 2 rounds. I mean, that's a story as well. And I believe, do we only have one cartoon dad or 2? We have Homer and Hank Hill, right?
Homer and Hank Hill.
Those are the only ones who have hung in, and they could be facing each other. We'll see what happens based on the voting, but they could. Only 2 cartoon dads out of the several we had in there as well.
Yeah. So.
I think without further ado, we just kind of jump back into it. We'll scroll.
I just remember Flanders got whacked by the mob. That's so great.
Yeah, that's right. He sure did.
The first one I see coming up is going to be a heartbreak.
Oh.
Yeah.
We got. We got Red Foreman versus Martin Crane.
I'm trying to remember who went first on the last one. On that very last, was it Steven?
I don't remember.
I thought maybe.
Okay. Don't worry. How about? Well, don't worry. We'll just start over at the bottom. We'll start over with Steven and just start fresh with the Sweet 16. So yeah. Okay, we'll just start with Sam down at the bottom. Let's get over to the left bracket and see who moves on into the Elite 8. So Sam, you've got. We got Frazier's dad, Mr. Crane, versus Red Foreman from that 70s show. What do you think?
Golly.
Getting tough.
Honestly, my favorite here in this matchup is got to be Mr. Crane.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, Steven.
I won't be upset if Red makes it, but yeah, I gotta vote for Marty.
Jen.
I wouldn't be upset with either of these options, but for me, I gotta go Red just because he's like the epitome of the crusty exterior with like the heart of gold inside. So I gotta go Red.
Yeah, right. Austin.
Yeah, I didn't vote for him a lot in the previous rounds, but I'll vote for Red this time. Yeah, definitely.
Ooh, so I've got the tiebreaker, huh?
Tough.
Yeah.
Let's see.
There you go.
Well, I think for me, I like the argument about the crusty exterior with the heart of gold. It's like peeling away the layers of the onion or whatever. So I got to go with Red for sure. Yeah.
Because I feel like these two, if they were in the same room, Red would still be annoyed with Marty. It'd be weird.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Well, Red and that 70 show, although I would say Mr. Crane was kind of a dark horse in this tournament. I'm surprised how kind of far he got, actually, because it's not one you'd think of off the top of your head, but he had a good run.
Rick Grimes,
Yeah. Hey, we've had crazier things happen on the previous episode. If anybody saw Tournament Fights, Napoleon Dynamite made it through to the final 8 on Jordan's movie list of his favorite movies, and it was destroying Avengers and destroying Logan and was destroying people left and right. So.
Oh, wow!
A whole bunch of comic book movies. Yeah, it was crazy.
It was the story.
What were you all on last night? Jeez.
Yeah, right.
Well, again, it's the bracket. I mean, it just depends on what it goes against, and it was hilarious. You got to go back and watch it. It was something to watch as it developed.
It's all about the matchup.
Versus Logan. How did Napoleon Dynamite survive Logan?
Yeah, right.
It was 4-1. It was
in the first round. It is my favorite movie of all time, and it got ousted by Napoleon.
It's Jordan's favorite movie, and it got knocked out in the first round by Napoleon.
First round. I was like, what the frick?
I'm telling you, go back and watch the episode if you haven't. Anybody who's watching this, go back and watch it. It's amazing to watch the story of that tournament and how it kind of all comes together. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah. So, our next matchup we have Jason Bateman from Arrested Development versus Dick Van Dyke.
Oh man! So Steven's got the first vote on this one.
Yeah, who you got?
It's me, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, Jason Bateman.
Okay.
All right, Jen.
Yeah, this is a tough one. I think I'm gonna go with Arrested Development just because Michael, like his fatherness is like his MO for like a lot of the series, whereas for Dick Van Dyke, like on the show, I feel like it's his relationship with his wife is the thing that's really more interesting about him. So yeah, I'm gonna go Arrested Development.
Yeah. Awesome.
And this one I'll vote based on some movie criterias. Bad Words is a really underrated movie, but Mary Poppins is one of my favorite movies of all time, so I'll go Dick Van Dyke.
All right. Yeah, for me, like I kind of agree with Michael Bluth. Just being a really good father, but like he's like trying really hard, but then like everything goes wrong because like his entire family like just ruins everything for him, and like not even always purposely. They're just so like stupid that they just end up ruining everything for him. So yeah, I got to give some love to Jason Bateman in Arrested Development. Sam?
Mm-hmm.
Sam?
I got to give it to Dick Van Dyke.
All
All right.
He's got better dance moves.
Yeah.
Jordan, I would consider this a bit of an upset, but Michael Bluth and Jason Bateman from Arrested Development makes it into the Elite Eight over Dick Van Dyke.
Yep.
Yeah.
Over wholesome old Dick Van Dyke. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So next up we have Hank Hill versus Herman Munster.
This is Herman Munster. Wow.
Yeah.
What an interesting matchup. They both have very square heads and necks, by the way, like very similar.
They just turned the color off on King of the Hill.
Yeah, exactly. And you've got that, and add some glasses.
Right. That's funny.
But Jen's up first on this one.
This is fascinating. I would love to see these two interact because I feel like Hank would be completely confused by Herman Munster, and it would be amazing.
What the heck?
But I think at this point, Herman Munster is the oldest thing on the list, so I think I'm going to go with him because I just killed Dick Van Dyke, so I feel bad about it. So Herman Munster.
Right. Awesome.
Yeah, and again, I voted for Hank last time, but because of the matchup and how things work out here in tournament fights, I'm going to go old school and Herman on this one for this round.
Yeah, I think. I was a pretty big King of the Hill fan, and I never really watched the Munster. I don't know if I've ever seen a single episode, but I just think that like Herman Munster as a character, just such a cool character. I mean, who wouldn't want a really cool Frankenstein character for your dad? That'd be like fun, I think. I mean, it might scare some people, but for me personally, it'd be fun. So I'd go with Herman Munster.
Sam?
Yeah, I think in this case, I think I would go with Herman Munster. I think he's got a better grasp on what it's like to be different from people. Which for somebody, I mean, okay, real quick, for somebody like me, I'm a paraplegic. That kind of experience would have been super helpful.
Yeah, right.
Gotcha.
I agree.
To be that different from everybody else.
The outsiders, yeah. I get it, man. I get it. Yeah. It's why I kind of wish we almost had Gomez Adams on the list too.
I'm still mad about that.
Yeah, definitely.
When I vote for Herman, it's really for Gomez. That's what's going on right now.
Right. Yeah. Right. All right, Steven?
Well, I've seen more of King of the Hill, so I would vote for Hank.
Okay.
All right.
Well, last minute vote for Hank, but with 4-1, Herman Munster and the Munsters are going to take this bracket. And so one more cartoon dad down. There's only one left for any hope for the animation.
Yep.
I think it's coming up fairly soon. I believe. Yeah, here it is.
Yep.
Oh boy.
Uh-oh.
It's Herschel from The Walking Dead versus Homer Simpson.
Oh, no.
Yep.
Oh no.
All right.
And I think Jen is up on, or no, excuse me. Jen
It's
was
you,
up last time, right?
I think I went
Yeah,
first
it's me.
last.
Yeah, all right. Really
just didn't
good
wanna go
dad
first.
and role model versus Homer. I'll vote with my morality on this one. I'll go Herschel on this one.
Yeah. It's like, someone very wise or someone completely stupid. Right? It's like that somehow works at a power plant. I don't know how that worked at a nuclear power plant. But yeah, I think I'm just too big of a Simpsons fan. Like just for the sheer entertainment value, I got to go with Homer.
All right.
Sam?
I got to give this one to Herschel.
All right.
Yeah. I'm going with Herschel too.
All right, Jen.
Yeah, it's really rough because like Homer is a fantastic character, and if you go back to like season 1, there is some really emotional stuff there that really shows what it's like to be a good father, even though like he really struggles. But Herschel is just a great father, and he really like gives his kids the tools they need to be the best people they can be. So I got to go Herschel.
All right.
All right.
Herschel's another
Herschel,
underdog in this tournament. That's
I
really
love Herschel.
that's
He
really
is.
kind of taken
He
this
is for
thing by
sure.
storm. Yeah, this is for sure one that I think nobody saw coming. But yeah.
All right, and then we move into the other side here.
On the other side, we're gonna figure out the other 4 for our Elite 8.
Yeah, so
Oh, here we go. We got Tim the Toolman Taylor against who? Against Danny Tanner from Full House. So it's a battle of the 90s
dads.
Yeah.
Oh
The
yeah.
90s dad. All right, so I guess I'm up. Is that right?
Yeah, Jordan's up.
Yeah, like for the most part, I'd usually always vote for Danny Tanner, but this is where it stops for me. Like I just gotta vote for Tim the Toolman, just because like he knows how to fix things, and even though he like blows up a fair amount of things, but he knows how to work on cars. He has a lot of like life skills that he passes on to his kids. So I got to go with Tim the Toolman.
He does blow up a lot of stuff, but he's never blown up his kids that I remember.
Yeah,
so that's
right,
good.
right.
Usually
he's
just
never hurt
himself.
his children. And himself and appliances and things, inanimate objects. Yeah, never anybody else.
Destroyed all his family's stuff, pretty much. But
Sam.
Yep. It's got to be Tim.
Yep.
All right.
Steven?
Yep, definitely Tim.
All right. Jen?
Yeah, this is really interesting because like it's Tim has the 3 boys and Danny has the 3 girls, but Danny also had to rope in his 2 best friends to really help out. So he probably doesn't have the same level of dadness, and also just the full family dynamic in Home Improvement, I think, is a much healthier relationship. So, we'll go Tim.
Yeah,
Tim
right.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I agree with John.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Heat pantses. Yep.
All right, Tim the Toolman moves on. So what do we got?
Right.
Uncle Phil from Fresh Prince
Uncle
against
Phil.
I can't even remember who. Oh,
Milo
Milo
Ventimiglia.
Ventimiglia. This is so one that everybody knows versus one that nobody knows.
Yeah,
Who's
right.
made it this far.
Oh, no.
We just heard he's a great dad, but
So we go back around to Sam to start this one. Yeah, Uncle
I was
Phil
gonna
and
say,
Milo.
I think it's up to me. I'm giving it to Phil
Okay.
all right.
for sure.
Steven?
Yep, Uncle Phil. Yep.
Okay.
All right, Jen.
Yeah, I think that this is us. Luck has run out. So yeah, Uncle Phil, come on.
Yeah, the Ventimiglia train stops with this one. So yeah, I go with Uncle Phil.
Well, just because I love upsets, I just want to see a huge upset, so I got to go with Milo.
no reason.
Come on, guys.
Well, we could definitely, Jordan. We can safely say Milo was the Napoleon Dynamite of this tournament. That's
Right,
for sure.
yep,
Just making his crushing dreams along the way. But it stops right here. It did stop for Napoleon in that tournament, but Uncle Phil, moves on in this one. All right.
Yeah. Can you tell that we all grew up in the 90s? It's like all 90s dance.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So next up we have Ray Romano versus Phil Dunphy.
Phil from Modern Family. All right.
They're kind of goofy guys, you know. So who's up?
Steven.
All right, Steven.
I'll go with Phil.
It goes haywire on me.
Mhm.
All right.
So you
And
voted
Phil?
for Phil Dunfield? Okay.
All right.
All right.
Yep.
And Jen.
Jen?
Yeah, these are two like semi-wacky dads, but whereas like Phil's comes from like this place of childlike joy, Raymond's is more just laziness. So yeah, I'm gonna go Phil.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Austin?
This will be a weird explanation for my choice, but I really want to see a Phil versus Phil, so I'll vote for Phil.
Yeah, sure.
Just
That is
for
a
the
good
sheer
call.
curiosity of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think I gotta go with Phil Dunphy, just because like he just seems like so much fun. Like it's like whenever I see him pop up in like any other movie, like I'm always low key like hoping for the Phil Dunphy personality. Doesn't always have that. Like he's in Dawn of the Dead, and like he kind of has it, kind of not. You know, it's just kind of interesting.
He's kind of an asshole in Dawn of the Dead.
He's just
Yeah.
a dick in that one.
Yeah,
He's a dick.
right,
in that
right.
one. He's not redeemable.
Yeah, no, not at all. But Sam?
Yeah, Phil.
All right. So this one's another unanimous one for Phil. We could see a very dicey Phil versus Phil here.
Yeah,
very soon.
Be Phil.
Fingers
All
crossed.
right.
All right. So
Frank
we
Costanza. Oh, against Carl Winslow. Oh no. Ooh.
All right. It's gonna be.
All right, Jen. You got the first one on this one.
I don't think I voted for Frank yet, but yeah, I'm gonna go Carl. I think Carl is the better dad. Frank would just be yelling the whole time. So yeah.
Yeah.
This might be the toughest one so far because like I'm a massive like to cue you in. Me and Jordan are starting a Seinfeld show very soon here on the channel. So like we love Seinfeld.
Yeah.
But God, it's hard to vote against Carl Winslow. This might. Should we do a coin flip? Should we have the first coin flip ever on tournament fights? I've got a quarter right here in my pocket. All right, I'm going to flip a coin. Literally, I'm going to flip a coin. So I'm going to flip it and turn it. And heads, which is the first choice, is Frank Costanza.
All right.
Literally heads, tails is how I did. Heads, tails. So I go Frank Costanza simply on a coin flip because I could go either way.
And for as much as I want to see Carl Winslow go up against Uncle Phil, because that just seems like it'd be a fun matchup. But I mean, I just got to go with Frank Costanza. Like I'm just like such a massive Seinfeld fan. Whereas Family Matters, I was kind of like a fan, but I mean, not like I am Seinfeld. So I got to go with Frank Costanza.
Okay. All right, Sam.
Yeah, I'm going with Carl.
Okay.
All right. Well,
Steven, it's on you.
Tiebreaker.
I'll go with the 20-year possible.
All right.
All right, Carl Winslow.
Carl Winslow.
That's
All right.
it. It's it for Frank Costanza. Carl Winslow moves on.
Ready now.
Yep.
All right. Are we down to our Elite Eight here? All right.
So
we're getting down to the nitty gritty.
Let me zoom it out a little bit.
I have to zoom it out so we can see our matchups here.
Yeah. So we have got next up. We have
Red Foreman from that 70s show. And Jason Bateman, Michael Bluth, and Arrested Development.
Yeah. All right.
And I think it's on me this time, I believe.
Yeah.
So
you're up.
Again, just because I'm not an Arrested Development fan, I'll just go red, just out of the fact that I've seen that 70s show.
All right. Yeah. For me, this one's tough. Like this might be one of the toughest ones for me personally. Like it's just because I have so much love for both of these shows and both dads. But I think that oh man, I don't know. Like this one's almost like a coin flip for me too. Like I almost want to do another coin flip, but but probably just because I like to see the underdogs go far, I'm gonna go with Michael Bluth. Like I feel like he's a little bit of an underdog in this tournament, so I'll go with him. Yeah. Sam?
Thanks, Sam.
Michael Bluth.
Ooh, all right.
All right.
Steven?
It's easily red for me.
All right.
All right. Jen gets the
tiebreaker
this time.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I think if we were just talking about series, Arrested Development takes it for me easily. However, Red is a great dad. Like he is a fantastic dad. He knows how to like really. They're also these two characters both have failed businesses, which I find interesting. But yeah, like Michael if that Netflix season didn't exist, I would have a much stronger case for Michael, but it does.
True.
So it kind of tanked him. Meanwhile, Red is just tried and true the entire time. Red Foreman.
All right.
All right.
Well, he's firm, but he's fair. But Red Foreman moves on to the final four.
Man, are we really gonna have a dumbass for a champion? Come on.
Yeah,
Seriously. But like, he's not the dumbass though. Like,
He's not
like,
the dumbass. Everyone that
like,
loses to him
yeah.
is a dumbass.
Everyone.
He's still
Right.
not very happy that it was so close at 3-2.
He wants to go home.
He wants to. He's ready. He's ready to be done at 2 hours. Yeah, he's
Just
ready
a little
to be over
pissed.
with.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
All right. So next matchup,
Herman Munster
Munster
versus Herschel. Oh no.
versus Herschel. All right.
Oh wow.
So that means
Yeah.
I'm up first.
You're
Is that
up,
right?
Jordan. Yeah, Herschel versus
Oh man.
Herman.
Yeah, I think for this one, so like I didn't vote Herschel last time, but I think this time I gotta go with Herschel. So yeah, vote Herschel. Sam.
Yep. Grandpa Herschel.
Yeah. Steven?
Yep, Herschel gets my vote too.
All right, Jan.
Yeah, it's the undead versus the Walking Dead, but Herschel is really
Yeah.
he is the better dad
Yeah.
here. So yeah.
Yeah, I got to go with Herschel, and he's really been another story of this tournament. Yeah, he's moving
Yeah,
into the
right.
final four, one that I didn't even
Final
notice
four.
was on the list at first when you sent the list, and he's there, and he's holding strong.
He's kicking ass.
let's do
Go.
Herschel.
He's there and
He's
he's
kicking ass.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Even with only one leg, like he's still in it, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well,
All right.
come over
So
here.
the list up here, we
Yeah,
got Tim the Toolman.
Versus
Oh
Uncle
no,
Phil.
versus
Ooh.
Uncle Phil.
Yeah, but
The
Neil's gonna come
90s
to
battle
it.
continues.
Yeah.
Oh, this is the
that's
ultimate
tough.
90s battle.
Yep.
So,
All right, Sam.
Wow.
You get first
Sam,
choice at this one.
Tim or Phil? Wow.
Oh my gosh.
This
Oh,
one's
no,
tough.
no, 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 no. I gotta go
We'll be
with Tim.
done. Yeah. All right.
Tim.
All right, Steven.
Oh.
Well, I probably watched Home Improvement more than Fresh Prince, so I'll go with Tim.
All right, Jen.
This is very tough, but I think I got to give it to Uncle Phil because he really is like, he's the paterfamilias of this family. He's in charge. He solves everyone's problems. Whereas for Home Improvement, like Tim's great and all, and he's very fun and he's lovable to his boys and everything, but Jill really shoulders a lot of the burden when it comes to like actual parenting. So I got to go Uncle Phil.
Well, Austin.
Oh my God. No, this is like another. Not that I'm gonna do a coin flip. This is
Heartbreaker.
like another coin flip.
Yeah.
I gotta go with again. I'm kind of similar to Steven, the one I just grew up with more. So I'll go Home Improvement and Tim, just slightly,
Yeah.
just the ever slightest. Yeah.
Yeah. And really, for me, like, for the sheer reason that technically he's an uncle, he's not a dad.
He's got
He's
two
Uncle
kids. He's got
Phil,
three
right?
kids and a,
Yeah,
and a
three
little
kids.
layabout.
That is true, but we all know him as an Uncle Phil. Like, so like that's kind of like how he's actually known. And for that kind of like really nitpicky reason, because I could really go either way here. Like this one's probably the hardest one. I gotta go Tim Allen for this one.
All right.
No.
Oh
Sorry,
no,
sir.
and Uncle
You're
Phil.
still watching.
Yeah.
Sorry, Uncle
Well,
Phil is gone.
well, Jen, just to give you hope, Jordan always puts our Elite 8 contenders in a poll on the Schmodown Friends and Family Facebook page tomorrow. So you,
You are
vote your
going to
heart's
hear from
content.
some people.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no,
Oh,
well, he won't be
Yeah.
the winner, but he'll at least be in the poll, which will make people happy. Because I think if he wasn't even in the Elite 8, we would get skewered. Absolutely. So
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
at
going to
least be
spam
up there.
the poll.
Yeah, yeah.
I am expecting the YouTube comments to explode any second now.
Oh, and
Right,
hashtag
yeah.
Jen was
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, right. Yep.
Yes.
Yep, Jen, you're the only one that fought for him.
So we're not going to have a Phil versus Phil match, unfortunately. So
No.
You even
Oh,
blew
that
that, guys. Come
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
You blew
So,
it.
but the next one is going to be what Phil
Phil-
from Modern Family
Phil
versus
Dunphy versus Carl Winslow.
versus Carl
Ooh.
Winslow.
It's getting tough.
Oh.
All right. So, is it Steven?
Yeah, I believe so.
All right. Okay.
This one actually isn't that tough for me. I'm gonna go with Carl.
All right. Jen?
I'm gonna keep the Phil hope alive. I'm gonna go Phil. As much as I like Carl, personally, like
Okay.
Phil, Modern Family, I think I've watched more of the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Austin?
Yeah, and it's amazing how hard some of these was, how easy some of these are. For me, I watched all of Family Matters. I've barely seen any Modern Family, so for that reason alone, I'll vote Carl on this one.
And for me, it was pretty easy the other way around. Like, I got to go Phil easily. Like, I never really like gravitated that much to Carl Winslow. So yeah, I'll go Phil.
Well, we've got a tie, Sam. So you're gonna make the decision here.
Oh gosh.
Right.
Too much pressure. Carl.
Ooh,
Carl.
all
All right. You just
Carl
made the next one a lot tougher for me too. Again.
right. Yep. All right. So this is the final
Ooh.
four.
Final four.
It is
So we're
down
sliding
to it,
back over to
so-
left side.
All right.
We are
let's
in.
go.
We are in it. We're almost there.
All right. This is your
And
final
we've
four
got-
here. So
Oh wow.
No.
we have
So our
Red
Red.
Foreman versus Herschel, which is like he's been the dark horse of the tournament, man. Oh,
yeah, Herschel has been one of the stories of this tournament, but will it
if he made it
end
to the
with
final?
Red here?
That'd be crazy.
Yeah. So Jen, I believe Jen's up first on this one.
Yeah.
Are you going?
Oh no.
Oh.
Here's the thing.
Are you going with here? Here you go. Are you going with that '70s show or a man who was in his 70s on the show?
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey.
Here's the thing. As weird as it is to say, I think that Red had to deal with more shit than Herschel did, even though Herschel was like living through the end of the world. Like Red had to address a lot more real life problems and issues, like losing a job and having to deal during a recession and having a daughter that is insane and a son that's a slacker and a wife that's an alcoholic and everything. So those are like real problems that really like resonated with a lot of people. So I think I gotta go with Red, whereas like Herschel is a fantastic character, but he's a little too good, I think, even though he is also an alcoholic. But I think I gotta go with Red, going Red.
Yeah.
But I love both of these,
All
so
right.
I'm fine with either one.
Austin, you got.
Oh man. This one I'll take it away from the TV shows and go with RoboCop and Red. I'm gonna not talk about the TV shows at all. I'm just gonna go with a whole completely different argument. So I'll go with RoboCop Red.
Yeah, I think like I don't know, like I can't even really like explain why I want to pick one more than the other, but like some. It just tell me to vote for Red Foreman. I don't know what it is, but I can't.
Because you're afraid of being called a dumbass. That's what's going on.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you don't want to call you a dumbass. Yeah.
No, I don't want to be known as a dumbass. So for that, yeah. Red Foreman.
Sam.
Oh shoot! I gotta pull for Herschel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Got some love for Herschel.
Steven.
Steven.
Well, I wouldn't say Herschel was perfect because it was reckless and dangerous of keeping all the walkers in the barn.
Yeah.
That's true.
It was very
He had
true.
Sophie in the
Because he
barn.
was too good. He couldn't do it.
Sophia.
Like,
Yeah.
He's like too good, and that's probably his downfall. He's
I
too
want to
good.
see Red in the zombie apocalypse. He would get some shit
yeah.
done.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Jack Bauer didn't make it, but the actor who played Red Foreman was in 24.
Yeah.
But I would
That is
still
true.
go with Herschel.
Okay.
All right. Well, Jordan, it was just by a hair, but 3-2, Red makes it into the finals.
And I just have this thought that like what if you put Herschel into Red Foreman's situation? Like I feel like he'd get those kids to stop smoking weed by like sheer logic and wisdom. He'd be like, like if you really smoked it, it just makes you a complete idiot when you smoke this stuff. Come on, just think about it.
I mean,
you know?
Herschel's a farmer. I probably think he's not too against weed, honestly. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's God's
Maybe
plant.
not.
I mean,
Yeah, right, it
it's,
is.
I think he'd be all for it.
True. That is a good point.
All right. Well, here's
All right.
another battle of the 90s. Oh, man, to determine our other finalists, it's Tim the Toolman Taylor versus Carl Winslow from Family
Carl
Matters.
Winslow. All right.
Ooh,
So is it you, Austin? Or
it's
you?
me. Yeah.
All
Oh my God. See, this is one where I've literally watched every episode of both of these shows. Like, this is one of the first ones where I've seen every one of both, which is rare in this whole thing. God damn. This one I'll go back to. I'll vote for Tim because he built a hot rod from the ground up, so that's pretty damn cool. So I'll go Tim the Toolman.
Yeah, for me, I got to go with Tim just because I want to see Red Foreman call Tim a dumbass because Tim literally is a dumbass. Come on. Right? So, yeah, I got to go with Tim. All right, Sam?
It has to be Carl.
Yeah.
Okay. Steven.
Yeah, I probably liked Home Improvement more, but I got to go with Carl.
Ooh, all right.
Jen, it's a
Jen.
tie. Who you gonna put through?
Man.
Now, you're with me. You were all in on Tim, but are you gonna switch to Carl? Here
I love that the right side very
tiebreaker?
quickly became the battle of the 90s over and over and over again.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened there.
Mhm.
It's really hard, but I think I'm going to go with Tim, even though I wanted Uncle Phil. If Uncle Phil was here, it would be no question about it.
Yeah.
I think I got to go Tim specifically for there was an episode where JTT, I don't even remember his name, Randy on the show.
Randy.
Like they thought he had cancer, and that was a huge episode.
Yeah.
And the way that they handled it specifically for their dynamic was just a beautiful father-son moment. So for that reason, I will go Tim.
Yeah, I still remember the promos for that as a very special episode of Home Improvement.
Oh, yeah.
It was heavy.
Right.
where Randy's literally like, I don't want to die.
I don't want to die.
Yeah. And they're like giving him a hug. Yeah, like I remember those promos like terribly. Yeah, definitely. Mm-hmm. So it's 3-2. Tim the Toolman just squeaks it out, and he's making it to the finals.
Yeah, why don't they do those very special episodes anymore? That was like a '90s thing, and then
It's a very nice thing.
It just went away. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. It's just because they don't do those types of quick like 15-second promos anymore of just like the sad music and like the on next week's episode.
The last show to really do that was Glee, and I don't think we need that anymore. So yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, we'll take a second to pause here and reflect on our finals here. We've got Red from That 70s Show versus Tim the Toolman from Home Improvement. We got the 90s versus the early 2000s, I guess, or late 90s and early 2000s.
Yeah.
And two very opposite personalities and different types of dads. Yeah. One's a little more laid back, one's a little more strict, but still kind of fair. One's a little more over the top sense of humor. Yeah.
Yeah, the like website has a little thing where you bring up like a finale, kind of like a little graphic thing. But I tried it last night and it just reverted back to the very first matchup for some reason. So I was about to bring it up. So I was like, no, it's not really made for that.
You can crash the bracket and somehow Uncle Phil wins.
Yeah, right.
No.
Gonna crash the whole system. It'll just be over.
I believe this one's to Jordan for the first vote on this finals, right? I believe so.
Yeah. Man, this one's tough because like for me, like I just thought that like watching that 70s show, I remember watching every episode when I like live. So like I watched it live. Like so I always was like waiting for the new episode. And I remember just watching, just thinking like this is so funny. Like this is like when like the funniest thing on TV at this moment. And like just thinking, how do they do it every week? They're just like so good. But for me, Home Improvement just has that rewatchability factor for me that like I can go back and watch those episodes over and over, especially the Halloween episodes. They're some of my favorite ones when he likes to make the like haunted houses and all that stuff. Then you have Wilson too. You got a really cool neighbor. You got all that stuff. But at the end of the day, this isn't about the show overall. It's about the actual dad. So you got to keep in mind. So, I mean, but I feel like that like Tim Allen just brings a little more to the table. That I feel like he just like has some more skills. Like he's more personable, all that stuff. So I got to go with Tim. So my vote, Sam.
I gotta go with Jordan. I think Tim's the better dad. He's woefully inept in a lot of cases, but Don't you want your dad to make you laugh every now and then?
Yeah.
You know.
Like take you to a sporting event, like to some box seats at the Detroit Lions, like even though they're terrible in real life, like they did it on the show.
Yeah.
Steven. Steven, you're up. Uh-oh. He crashed. Steven, you're muted.
All right.
There you go. You're back.
Well, all right. This actually isn't that difficult for me, even though I think Tim Allen is great. I just like, as a character, I just like Red Foreman more. So I'm going with Red.
All right. 2 for Tim, 1 for Red. Jen, you got?
Yeah, like because we're specifically talking about dads, like Red Foreman, like the relationship between him and Eric is like the crux of the show. Honestly, I think it's the emotional core. Whereas for Tim Allen, like most of the show is just based on him being wacky. That's kind of his thing. Yes, he's a good father to his 3 sons, but it is also a different dynamic because like in Home Improvement, the kids are kind of young when it starts out, and then they only slowly get to teen years like towards the end of the show. Whereas Red is dealing with like 2 crazy, wild teenagers in the 70s. So you kind of need that really strict exterior just to get them to like not get arrested every day. And like Eric was a slacker. So like he really did need a strict father, but one who clearly cares about him and is trying to just do what's best for him. Lori's a whole other problem. But like he tried his best with her clearly. But yeah, for me, like Red, he came out and quickly became like a heavy hitter in the bracket here. So I got to go Red all the way.
All right, Austin, I guess you got the tiebreaker.
All right, I've got the tie. It's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
But you know what? Tournament fights is all about unpredictability. As we said at the beginning of the show, you vote for whatever reason you want to vote for, not necessarily what the reasons we vote for on tiebreaker fights. And I got to go with the one I wore the shirt for. Benford Tools wins.
There's no favoritism there at all.
It's Tim the Tool Man Taylor, and he's going to take it.
Of course not. Yeah. There's no favoritism. Yeah. All right. We have a champion. All right.
All right. Good job, everybody.
Cool, all right. Nice.
We made it.
All right.
We made it.
Yeah. A little over 2 hours and we made it. So yeah, I'll just kind of zoom out. We can have one last kind of quick look at it, but I mean,
quick look at the tournament. I mean, I think some of the stories of this one are some of the true underdogs. Herschel making it all the way to the Final Four from The Walking Dead. Again, one I kind of forgotten about on the list. We had Michael Bluth from Arrested Development making a really strong showing. We had Milo Ventimiglia on a show that nobody had even seen, making it pretty far. Milo, we had a lot of tough decisions from the 90s for this generation over on the right side of the bracket. I mean, some really some true selfish choices over there. And but I mean, it came down to kind of 2 sort of late 90s, early 2000s dads, and that may be a stigma of the ages we have here with our panelists on here. I mean, Jordan, if we had maybe your dad on here, or a couple of older folks, voting for a little more old school, like we did with the tier-maker fights on the moms, we may have had maybe a Dick Van Dyke or a Gomez or something on there in the Final Four. But that's kind of just how everything pans out.
Yeah, we had some dads from like different generations though. Like we had like Herschel from the 2010s. Then we had Red from the 2000s. Then we had a couple of 90s ones in there, so like from different decades. So
and some shows without like audiences, like without laugh tracks. I mean, you think about that with like Arrested Development and Modern Family. A little more like a modern kind of diverse dads. With Phil being he's gay on the show, right? Modern Family. I mean, he's that's definitely interesting.
He's not gay.
Oh, he's not? Okay, not Tyrell? No. I thought he was. I'm sorry. No. Was that the other one?
No, those are the, I forget the other guys.
That's Stone Street.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
The other one.
Gotcha.
And Tyler Jesse Ferguson, Yeah, those two.
Yeah, okay. But the lack of we might get slammed for the lack of old school black and white dads on this thing, but
Herman made it pretty far.
Herman made it pretty far. Herman hung tight. Dick Van Dyke held tight for a little while too. He got a lot of votes. I'm just glad we didn't have any overly despicable people in our 4 or 8.
Yeah, right.
You
They're
know?
all like pretty
no
decent
mob
people.
bosses, no horrible cartoon dads. Nothing
Steelers.
like that.
No,
Yeah.
Oh, Sopranos
mob
versus
bosses.
Dexter would have been horrifying.
So, yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but we can at least say our final 4 there with Tim and Carl and Herschel and Rhett are all good guys at heart. You know, they're all guys that we would all be proud to have as a dad or be associated with. So we could at least be proud of that. Yeah, for sure.
The most hard-nosed one in the final 4 was just Red Foreman, and then like he's still a good dad. Like so.
Yeah, he's still a good guy.
Yep. Exactly. So
I'm a little shocked that he did not punch his way to that top spot.
I know.
He almost got there.
Yeah.
almost. Yeah.
Feel free in the comments on the show to call me a dumbass for putting Tim over Red in the finals. I will
Right.
take full responsibility for that. So please
Yeah.
direct it at me and movie
You're the
Hero
tiebreaker.
Pez on Twitter. You feel free to scream at me all you want to, and I'll take the heat for that. That's okay. But the point is, I hope everybody had fun with this. It's becoming one of my new favorite shows here to do on the channel, and just because of how unpredictable it can be, you know, kind of how fun it can be, the little matchups that get our brains going, you know, when we see them on screen, you know, some of the crazier ones that kind of pop up throughout the brackets are always fun to talk about. So I hope everybody had a good time.
Yeah, like you could put these like all the same people that we get a totally different randomizer, and like you could have a whole different result. Like it just depends on the matchup.
Oh yeah, we could absolutely have a result. We could have, we could have had Uncle Phil at the top had he been against different people. We could have had, Phil from Modern Family could have made it to the finals. You know, any of those guys. Gomez Adams could have made it to the finals.
Yeah, right.
Brackets. I mean, who knows? I mean, that's the same thing we talked about with our inaugural episode with the movies. I mean, yeah, you shuffle it around one more time, and depending on the matchups, it could be a whole different game.
Yeah, probably for Father's Day 2022, we might do a redux and just kind of see where it ends up.
We could do a redux, literally the same 64, and just shuffle them around.
Yeah,
and
right,
see if
right.
we come up with anything similar or not. I mean, we definitely could. It would be very interesting.
Yeah, but with that, yeah, we'll do it for the show. So we'll just kind of go around the horn. If you have anything you want to promote, and let us know where we can find you. So we'll start with Steven. Where can we find you?
Facebook, Letterboxd.
All right, sounds good. And then Sam, where can we find you?
I'm on Twitter. I'm on Facebook. You can find me. You can find me through Discord. You can find me. You'll usually find me at least once a week streaming on Twitch. Yeah. Paragamer85. That points you towards all of my social media. So you search for that, and you'll most likely find me.
Yeah, because
you'll know it's me because it's the red guy in the wheelchair with the green name underneath. That's me.
All right.
Yeah, Sam's got some pretty fun live video game streams, so like it's always a fun time to go check those out. But Jen, where can we find you?
You can find me, Jen Kemp, at JK Meme Queen on Twitter and Letterboxd, even though I don't really update that anymore. And also next Saturday, the 26th, I'm going to be part of this massive Mario Party Madness show for Chris Clark's birthday over on the PJ Campbell Network / Twitch. It's going to be on both YouTube and Twitch. There's a lot of people involved. It's going to be cuckoo. And yeah, keep an eye out for me in the Schmodown repping what Jordan's wearing over there.
Yep, swag right here.
Swag. All right.
Drip,
Excellent.
Drip, baby.
And Austin, where can we find you?
Yeah, Movie Hero Pez on Twitter is my personal Twitter. If you want to yell at me for being biased in the finals, that's perfectly fine. And Movie Hero 2121 is the official page for the show to hear about all the shows we're doing. Jordan and I we got 4 shows this week. This is 3 of 4. We still got another one tomorrow because he's going on vacation. So we're pumping out the content this week so we can promote it all throughout his vacation next week. But tomorrow night is the one we've been building up towards that I'm super excited about. We've got a Tearraker Fights episode about 80s horror. horror. We've been busting through our horror decades and 80s horrors. Tomorrow night we've got Mark Edward Hoyk, William Bibiani, Adam Collins, all from the Schmodown coming on to talk 80s horror. So it's a monumental task, but I think our panel is up for it. So I'm really looking forward to that. That's going to be tomorrow night, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific, just like tonight.
Yeah, I'm super excited for that one because I've been able to watch all these horror movies for the first time. I did just finish watching An American Werewolf in London for the first time, which is awesome. I had a lot of fun with that. One of the best transformations I've seen in a movie before, but we'll talk about it more in the episode. But yeah, and so we'll be on hiatus for 2 weeks after the show, but I do want to say that when we come back, we're going to be coming back with a bang. We're going to have a best comedies from 2010 to now for a tier ranker fight. We already have a Mario Moses from the Schmodown book for the episode, so that'll be a fun one. And then we're going to be coming at you with the new Seinfeld show that'll be coming soon. So it'll be called Hello from Movie Hero.
Hello.
Hello.
Yep. So yeah, look forward to that one. And then we also have a brand new podcast that we just released 2 episodes for. It's called Podcast League Now, and that'll be showing up on all of the podcast platforms, so like iTunes and Spotify and all that good stuff. So you watch for that. It's not up there yet, but within the coming weeks it'll be there. So, and you can find me over in the Schmodown Friends and Family group over on Facebook, and tomorrow we're gonna have all the dads that we voted for the Elite 8 in a little poll over there. So if you want to go and scream at us for how wrong we got it, or want to let us know how we got it right, either way, just let us know. So it'll be up tomorrow. So yeah, that's where you can find me. So yeah, but this has been a lot of fun. So for Steven, for Sam, for Jen, for Austin, I've been Jordan, TV Hero Anderson tonight, and we will see you next time.